Go, 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 go,
No,
go.
you didn't.
Wendy Bell Radio is live.
What the
Gobble,
heck?
gobble. It's Thanksgiving. It's turkey. Well, I try to change it up a little bit so I'm not so predictable. And then what do? Poo in my mouth.
Well, that's what we do. I'm trying to create the illusion of awakeness and whatnot today. Hi, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. How are you?
Wow, that was.
Gobble, 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 gobble,
Oh.
gobble. Mine's better. There's a difference. That's all I was saying.
Can I complain for a second?
Oh, my gosh.
I
Happy
find out I'm not
Thanksgiving.
getting real pumpkin pie.
First of all, you said
Pumpkin pie. Getting like some cream pumpkin pie.
that you said pumpkin right away makes me dislike you. So who freaking says that? Nobody. I've got really big hair. Do you guys think I should put it back?
Someone gave $20.
What? You feel sorry for us that we're working.
BC Warney. Hello, Wendy and Brock and all you patrons. $20. Wow.
That was very thoughtful.
Yeah.
Thank you. This should be the day that you guys are at a strip club, right? Just throwing money at us.
Oh, wow.
Well, I have to dangle
Do
it
you have
out
some
there.
glitter
so people
on
are like,
you or
"What?"
something they can throw some money at?
Glitter.
Everybody's
no.
going to walk out with
No.
glitter.
No, if there's one thing I could eradicate from the face of the earth, it would be glitter. It would be glitter. We used to have a babysitter who would come and was great with the kids, and she would send birthday cards and
glitter
what
in 'em?
And no, she would yes, but it would be all these little confetti pieces, but they're all glitter. And I'm like, I hate you. And so you'd open it up and it'd be like, whoosh. She's like,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I'm not hiring you anymore. So I know. Thank you for being here, you guys. Let's see what we got going on today. I don't think anybody's going to be live today. I'm pretty sure we're the only game in town.
No.
No?
But we are the big box.
Are we?
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Hello and welcome. Welcome. Let's see if we
This is why we show up on holidays.
Let's get some people tuning in. Good morning. Good morning.
If you're new, hit the follow button. Hit the rumble button. Hit them all. We're here pretty much every day of the year.
Get the crown. Army dog. I'm a lot more expensive than $1. So whatever.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. Hey, good morning. Gifted one subscription. Major Ellis. Hey, Major Ellis. Good morning.
And for Jolene, yeah, right off the bat.
She's watching?
Yeah, I complained about
attention?
the pumpkin pie.
Jolene.
I complained about it. And
well, that's what you get.
I want to have my voice heard.
That's what you get.
Like there should be something sacred about the pumpkin pie.
If you are new to the show, we are a radio program, but we do live stream the whole daggone thing, which is great. Let me get this one thing out of the gate. I want to tell you quickly about CB Distillery. They got 2 more days, but we're only here to talk about it for one. This is the sale of all sales. This is up to 60% off everything in their store. It's pretty remarkable, and they don't do it but once a year. Promo code RUMBLE, cbdistillery.com, promo code RUMBLE. This is the stuff, the CBD products. These are clean, green, no fillers, no fluff, no junk, no jazz. Just pure, clean CBD products to help take away your stress, your anxiety, to help you ease your pain after you exercise, and also help you fall asleep and stay asleep. Like, if you've got some CBD products in your life from CB Distillery, just there on the shelf in case, you don't need to worry about taking hardcore stuff. This is the gentle way. This is the way I like. This is CB Distillery. 60% off right now, up to 60% off. Promo code RUMBLE.
I had to tell Kate that
What's going on?
CB Distillery, she always hits the Black Fridays.
Yes. I have to figure out what the hell that was that just popped out of my face.
Someone gave money for pole dancing lessons for you.
Wow. Well, this is accelerating.
Oh, someone gave Myron54 gave money $5 for me keeping my clothes on. Wow, that's a little hurtful, but I understand.
This is how we roll, ladies and gentlemen.
Totally understandable.
Welcome to the show. We're about 2 minutes away from doing it live for you, but we're excited that you're here. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving. However you spend time with the crazy people in your life, I hope you feel blessed. I hope it is peaceful. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful time. Be safe out there.
And can we all say that we're thankful for
Me.
Donald Trump being president?
Yes. Wow. I was all ready to take it. You can be thankful for me.
Okay, hold on. I'm thankful for Wendy.
Wow.
What? I said it.
Whatever.
Wow.
No bonus for you.
Wow.
Now I've got my lips on. Now we can go. Let's do it.
Stick around for all 3 hours.
Wow.
Hit that follow button. Hit the rumble button.
I hope I'll be worth it for you today. Methinks it'll be a good show. That's all we know how to do. I'm glad you're here. Hit the damn rumble button. There's no reason for us not to have 1.5 out of the gates. We're 500 below, 600 below. Like what?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to your daily dose of facts to fight off the liberal gaslighting.
You can be in the middle of a hurricane.
You have sanctuary in the city of Chicago.
Or you can be on a calm day. North is still north. You could be in a thunderstorm.
I am angry. We are not going back. Not ever.
North is still north. People can yell at you.
The hell with the Supreme Court. We will defy them.
North is still north. It doesn't change fundamental things. And in this business, right is still right, even if you stand by yourself.
We don't get fooled again. No.
Live across the fruited plain and from sea to shining sea, we're converting the Marxist left 1 hour at a time on the Wendy Bell radio program.
Well, hello, America, and greetings to all of you across the beautiful fruited plain. Happy Thanksgiving, and welcome to the Wendy Bell radio program. Not a lot of people going to be working today, and it is fortuitous that we decide to work most holidays because it is an opportunity for us to open doors to new people who maybe are hungry for common sense conservative values. Nothing we're going to say on this program today is going to be a shock if that is where your mind is in that whole common sense conservative realm. But we share something with you every day, and it is a pledge. It is a pledge to always tell you the truth. You do not get gaslit. You are not smokescreened. You are not lied to on this program. And we hope you follow us beyond today, wendybellradio.com. The whole show, live streamed, video, commercial breaks, all of it. As you and your family settle into Thanksgiving today, thank you for spending part of your day with us. I'm thankful for you. Welcome home. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. You know, if Joe Biden hadn't opened the southern border, if Joe Biden had not told the U.S. Embassy in Kabul, load up the planes, as many as you could pack in there, load them up and bring them to America. If Joe Biden hadn't done those things, we wouldn't be in the position we are in today, with 2 National Guard members fighting for their lives. And may we all say a prayer for their families and for them. After yesterday, a man from Afghanistan who boarded one of those C-17 planes in September of 2021 came to this country not hoping to assimilate, not hoping to love the American flag, not hoping for a job, but with a dark cloud over him. And yesterday, in Washington, D.C., he rounded a corner where National Guard members were standing, where they have done a phenomenal job cleaning up the crime and the corruption and so much of the garbage that Joe Biden and the Democrats have invited into our country. And he shot a female National Guard member from West Virginia point blank in the head. And he shot a man, National Guard member, in the back. And now these two individuals are fighting for life. And then you get more on this guy who worked with like a sister program in Afghanistan, in Kabul, with our CIA. And nobody is saying, wow, that's really surprising. Because we're not surprised. Because we talked about this 4 freaking years ago. And look, I'm sorry, I don't mean to sully the meaning of today. I'm giving thanks. And it's a thankful thing individually, what resonates with you. I'm going to tell you, I'm so thankful that they weren't allowed to cheat again to the degree that they did in 2020. And so Donald Trump was finally allowed to serve his second term 4 years late. I am so thankful because none of this crap gets uncovered. But you know what? A lot of people in this country haven't needed to suffer. And they've suffered at the hands of the Democrats, who stole an election, set up a bunch of people on January 6th, threw them away in the DC gulag like garbage, and then proceeded to run 4 years of the most offensive, despicable, American-hating politics that I believe we have ever survived. You know, they called it something so nice and fluffy. Operation Allies Welcome. Joe Biden specifically saying to the U.S. Embassy in Kabul, load up the planes. Bring them to America. As many as possible. These people were not vetted. These people had no papers. These people don't have digital records. Load them up. And as we looked at that picture, and I know you guys remember what this picture was, inside the belly of that big C-17, monster cavernous, all of the people packed in there like sardines. And I looked at that picture and said on this very program, who the hell are these people? Do they know anything about them? You and I had a gun to our heads. Our kids had been locked down for a year because of a virus that they told us we had to get some experimental gene scrambler to fix, knowing full well it wasn't a cure, it was its own disease. And yet, here we have all these thousands of people coming in from Afghanistan. Are they vaccinated? Pfft, you kidding me? The Biden administration didn't care. They didn't care what kind of criminal, what kind of rapist, what kind of terrorist, drug runner, gang banger, or what kind of person wanted to do harm to the American people. They did not care. And they lied to us again and again and again and again. And anybody living with a modicum of common sense saw what was the beginning of the floodgates. And that's when the southern border exploded. 2 National Guard members fighting for their lives because they do a job to protect this country the Democrats have vilified and turned into some kind of monster Gestapo Nazi force so that it plants the seed in an already delicately unhinged mind that, by golly, I'm going to take action. This guy from Afghanistan, I don't care about his name. All you need to know is that because of Joe Biden's botched withdrawal from that country, we left billions, tens of billions of U.S. military machines, equipment, artillery, guns, vehicles, tanks, helicopters, everything behind. And they tried to tell us it was a success. And then 2 weeks later, after those planes took off and U.S. troops were blown up at Abbey Gate, and those service members' bodies came back to America in flag-draped coffins, the man, they told us, won the election with an unconscionable 81 million votes, made the families wait as he took a 2-hour nap on the tarmac in Air Force One, and then got out for the transfer, dignified transfer of their bodies, to look impatiently at his watch. It might have been taking a little too long for him. If there was no other day to know what you were getting, to know what they installed, to be prepared for the onslaught of everything un-American, everything unsafe, everything undemocratic, that was the day. And yet we were told to be quiet. Blood on their hands, all of them. Mayorkas, blood on your hands. Kamala, Joe, the entire cabinet. And the Democrats since then have been running around, planting seeds of distrust, creating fake news narratives, going after a president, impeaching him twice, lobbing 4 different criminal indictments at him, bogging him down with 91 felony charges, none of which has stuck. And yet today, you will hear the voices on this Thanksgiving blaming President Trump. We're going to unpack all of this for you. We're going to hear from the president himself. He had to hit the airwaves last night before midnight, pissed. And he should be. It's an assault on America, and it is only just now beginning. We'll talk about that coming up next on the Wendy Bell Radio Network. Love to be able to tell you it all is good. Happy Thanksgiving. We've got nothing to talk about. Brock and I were saying yesterday, we're like, usually holidays are kind of tough. And it's like, you get that one story that everybody gloms onto. Yesterday was the seditious 6, and they're still beating that horse. And just takes all the oxygen out. Well,
they gave us news.
Just absolutely horrifying. Horrifying.
Lexus 350, $50. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank
Pops
you.
11111. Gobble gobble, $20. M. Balasco. Don't forget Kamala. She was in that room. I was second in command, approving everything.
Damn, remember her? She was all over it. She was like white on rice. I want to tell you, we have a big audience. I want to tell you about one of my favorite things I do every day. I take 3 supplements. That's it. I don't take any prescription drugs. Very rarely do I take Advil. I've taken one product that has absolutely fundamentally changed my life. I'm a busy mom. I got 5 boys. $20? What are you doing? At Mr. Wombat.
Popcorn, toast, jelly beans, and pretzels fun.
At ATL, Atlanta, Mr. Wombat. That is so nice. Thank you so much. I take this. I take 2 capsules every day. I'm getting down on this. Oh, this is the new one. I'm getting down on my one over here. Blood Flow 7 from Juvenon. And you're like, well, why does blood flow matter? Blood and oxygen all over your body. It's so helpful to your focus. It's so helpful to your stamina. You guys, if you do things normally and you've gotten over the age of 50, I'm 55. You get over the age of 50 and you're like, dang, I used to be able to, I have no more strength. Like I'm pooped. Not anymore. Not anymore. This keeps you going. And I will tell you the best benefit of all is the sleep at night. The best I've ever had. Bloodflow7.com/Wendy. 1 month, right now, less than $30. I say to you, if you do nothing else for your life, for your wellness, for your well-being, bloodflow7.com/Wendy. Change my world. So happy you're here. Thank you. All right. So if you are watching and you're new, there's something called rumbling. And it's sort of like if you're on Facebook, you give a, like a friend, you're like, yay, I approve of this or what have you. Here it's called a rumble. And it's a little bubble underneath my face right now in the video box. There's a thumbs up. There's a thumbs down. If you like us, give us the thumbs up. I've already gotten 11 thumbs downs. Dang, I'm good today. And then while you're here, hit the follow button just to the left of it. And if you want the rundown every single day, which is our whole calendar, our whole daily show, every link, everything, hit that red button, WBR Army. $5 a month, so cheap, and we give you 2 months free because we're.
And tell us where you're from if you're new.
Yeah, we love
like to
hearing
know.
from new people. Love having you, so welcome. With U.S. government entities in Afghanistan, including the CIA. The Afghan national accused of shooting 2 National Guard members blocks from the White House yesterday afternoon worked with various United States government entities, including the CIA, as a member of a partner force in Afghanistan. Ramanullah Naknawal. I don't even care. I want to say your name wrong. Entered the United States on the heels of the disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan in August of 2021 under the Biden administration. He arrived in the U.S. a month later under Operation Allies Welcome. Not vetted. You want to know how many people came in under that? Courtesy of Joe Biden? 88,500 men, women, and children from Afghanistan. I want you to hear what Stephen Miller had to say. This war America is fighting right now because the Biden administration opened the door to terrorists, to the mentally and the criminally insane. Fill in the blanks. For 4 years, they did this. Here's Stephen Miller.
The Democrats have inflicted on this nation the worst national security threat in our history. We've never faced a threat like this. 20 million people brought into our country from the most failed societies on earth. Afghanistan, Somalia, Libya, Iraq, brought here. No vetting, no conditions, no rules. Brought here on visas, brought here as refugees, brought here as asylees, brought here as illegals, brought here in every way imaginable, by plane, train, bus, automobile, by land, by sea. For 4 straight years, they deluged this country. And now more blood is being spilled as a result. What you heard tonight from President Trump, the breaking news here tonight, is saying that his government is going to accelerate efforts to review every person added to this country over the last 20 years, or the last 4 years, all 20 million. Now, obviously, if you're illegal, you're out automatically. But everybody else who was brought here, refugee, asylum status, whatever status, as he said, if you're not someone who loves this country, if you're not adding benefit to this country, then we're going to send you out of this country. Because it's enough already. No one else has to die. No one else has to be murdered. No one else has to be shot. No more empty seats are needed at the Thanksgiving table or the Christmas table because of what Democrats have done to this country. So tonight we heard from a commander-in-chief a historic announcement, a brave announcement, exactly what America needed to hear, Kellyanne.
And what did America need to hear? We're going to be reviewing every single Afghan visa since, 20 years ago. We're going to go over every single person who's here, and we're going to find out who they are and what they're up to. And, oh, yeah, by the way, no more travel. No more flights in. No more people coming in from Afghanistan. None. The mainstream media's willingness, though, to rationalize, to excuse violence against anyone perceived to be even remotely right-wing is so beyond remarkable. We saw it after Charlie Kirk was killed. We're seeing it now with 2 National Guard members having been shot at point blank range. Did you see this? The new MS Now, previously MSNBC, same suck product, same loser people on there, including one of the most toxic and dangerous, Ken Delanian. He got called out for a sickening take on these Guards members shot in D.C. This is what the left used to call blaming the victim. In this case, it's apparently acceptable to the folks at MS Now to blame the presence of the Guard and ICE in the city for the shooting. Well, what do you expect? Ken Delanian from MS Now says. What did you guys expect? All sorts of people walking around wearing uniforms. People get really fussy about that. Really? I want you to hear what he said, and I want you to consider how you feel about it. Listen.
But of course, you know, there's so much controversy happening in the United States right now with ICE, who are also wearing uniforms and wearing masks. And so there's, you don't know, people walking around with uniforms in an American city. There are some Americans that might object to that. And so apparently this shooting has happened.
Okay. And then you got the noise of some breaking news coming in, some more garbage that they're going to tell you. So blaming the victim, we're going to blame the National Guards members. It's your fault. You were here. So what do you expect? Boom, boom. It's like saying that she deserved to be raped because of the dress she was wearing. It was a little too short. What do you expect? Ew. People not impressed with Ken Delanian. MS Now is about to have to rebrand again. This is truly disgusting, somebody writes. Ken Delanian is a disgusting individual, writes somebody else. The left encouraged violence against ICE agents and now is excusing that violence before knowing any motive because, hey, we've made people angry at ICE and they could make mistakes, you know? The mainstream media's willingness to rationalize and excuse violence against anyone perceived to be MAGA or conservative or law-abiding or law-enforcing, this person writes, is truly remarkable and disgusting. It is sickening. They show you every day who they are. There's no conversation about where are we as a people on the left. What are we doing? It's just about resistance. Resisting the president who won in a landslide, who was given a mandate. Clean it up, Mr. President. Pay close attention to the people who want it all to remain dirty. And ask yourself why. When we come back on the Wendy Bell radio program, let's hear from the president. He's about as angry as I have heard him, and for good reason. Next on the Wendy Bell Radio Network.
Come up with a list for all the advertisers for MSNBC or MS Now or whatever the hell they're calling themselves.
Disgusting. Hey, I have a wellness company. I love being able to talk to you guys about this. Ultimate Spike Detox. Look, I know a lot of people, you probably included, were put in a position during COVID with your job. And it was idiotic. It was people not thinking critically, following the leader, doing whatever they could do to prove that they were so caring. Take this shot. We know nothing about it. But I'm sure our government wouldn't want to hurt us, would they? Well, if you took it and you're worried about the spike protein in it, you have good reason to be concerned. We've heard of multiple studies, including one most recently in Korea. 8.4 million adults. Their findings were published in a respected scientific journal. Critics will dismiss it, but there's been a spike in 6 different cancers. This isn't just some anomaly, some outlier. 6 different cancers. So Dr. Peter McCullough, he's been aware of this news since 2020. It's why he collaborated with the wellness company to create Ultimate Spike Detox. It's designed to help clear your body of those spike proteins to reduce inflammation and to support heart health. Important when you're worried about myocarditis or pericarditis. And you can get it now at a discount. twc.health/Wendy. Use my name. You're going to get a nice discount. You're going to get free shipping. Get back to your pre-COVID feeling. Cleanse your body of the toxic spike protein. twc.health/Wendy. I think it's pretty important.
Quick question.
Pretty important, yes.
What's the promo code for Chef IQ?
From last time, it was me, was Wendy, 30% off site-wide. I don't know if it's still working right now. I got Ryan his oven. He doesn't know this yet. I'm so excited.
Our mutual friend is using his today with the turkey, and he's like, this is awesome. Now his kid wants one.
Oh, nice. Did he buy one or did you give it to him?
He bought it.
He did. That's awesome. That's awesome. It's always a good time for me to tell you about Ireland Contracting. Look, I have beautiful sponsors, but I use these people. This isn't just here, I'll give you $1,000 and you talk about me. It's, hey, we like what you do. Can we tell you what we do? And then I'm like, well, you can tell me all day long that you do the X, Y, or Z, but I need you at my house. So Ireland Contracting literally has been at my house a half of a dozen times. And they're wonderful, and they are the real deal, and they are good people, and they stand behind the work they do. Home exterior remodeling experts. So don't go to one of those window outfits when you can go to Ireland Contracting. 1-800-NEW-ROOF. Need whole house new windows? Boom. You want to put in a bay window, a new front door? They can do that. You want to put on a new roof? It's expensive. Wouldn't you like it if one of their guys came out up on your roof and milled around, took some pictures of it, and let you know how long you actually have on the roof? Because if you don't need it right away, they're not going to be like, oh, yeah, absolutely. Let's do it tomorrow. They're going to be like, yeah, I think you probably have a couple years, and it's probably going to cost you X amount of money if you want to start budgeting for that. Who does that? Ireland Contracting. That's why I love them, right? I'm willing to pay good money for good work, good service, good everything. And that's what these guys do. 1-800-NEW-ROOF, IrelandContracting.com. President not happy yesterday at all. At all, and I don't blame him.
You want him to be pissed.
Yeah. And this is the sort of thing that is extraordinarily offensive, I think, to Donald Trump. His number one mantra is, can we just stop the killing? Can we just stop the killing? Like his whole thing with Maduro. We have a little blurb on him today about Venezuela. Would you sit down and talk to the president of Venezuela? And he's like, if it's going to get people to stop getting killed, yeah, I'll talk to anybody. You know, I'll talk to Putin and Zelensky when they're serious about inking the deal. But don't waste my time anymore. I've done my time. I've tried to negotiate this with you. 25,000 people a month getting killed, all young men. Can we just stop the killing? Can we stop the killing of people in our country from drugs? Yeah. Can we stop people who hate America from milling around with us? Like literally now when you're on the road and you see the tractor trailer guy next to you and you're like, oh snap, is that one of those freaking illegal aliens who got the illegal CDL, who doesn't speak our language and is going to do something crazy? And you're like, rah! Now all of a sudden you got to keep your head on a swivel and be like, and you do, because America is a soft target. Everybody's gunning for America, including people in America who are Americans. Chew on that for a while. So pay attention to your stadiums, your schools, your libraries, your mosques, your synagogues, your churches, your hospitals. Hospitals. Well, honestly, anybody with a backpack can walk into a hospital and do anything. I'm just saying. There's a lot of people who cross the border with malintent. And we've been wondering where they all went. You know, I would love to be able to present Rush Limbaugh's Thanksgiving message, the very popular one that's 15 minutes long, that is this beautiful tale of what this day is all about. But today is not that day news-wise. And unless all of us are very aware, head on a swivel, suspicious of everything, and it's hard to live your life like that. This is the warning shot. This might be one dude who hates America. And you know what? I'm not so sure we could really blame people in Afghanistan or people in Iraq for hating America, for invading their countries, for weapons that didn't exist. Were there leaders that were horrible, that needed probably to be taken down? Yes. But there's scars there. There is a seething hatred for this country because a lot of the nefarious moves of government. President Trump last night putting out a truth before speaking to the country, speaking to the world. And this is what he said after the shooting of the 2 West Virginia National Guards members, working on behalf of the federal government at the president's direction, at his request, in the nation's capital. This is what the president truthed. The animal that shot the 2 National Guardsmen, with both being critically wounded and now in 2 separate hospitals, is also severely wounded, but regardless, will pay a very steep price. God bless our great National Guard and all of our military and law enforcement. These are truly great people. I, as President of the United States, and everyone associated with the office of the presidency, am with you. Here he was hours later addressing not just America, but knowing the world is watching. He said what happened in D.C. today was a crime against humanity.
My great fellow Americans, earlier today on the eve of the Thanksgiving holiday, 2 members of the National Guard serving in Washington, D.C., were shot at point-blank range in a monstrous ambush-style attack just steps away from the White House. They had been deputized as part of the most successful public safety and national security mission in the history of our nation's capital, the D.C. Safe and Beautiful Task Force, which has achieved an unprecedented reduction in violent crime and crimes of all type. This heinous assault was an act of evil, an act of hatred, and an act of terror. It was a crime against our entire nation. It was a crime against humanity.
This is where the president says what we are all thinking. And it's important because as you're sitting at your home, scrolling through your social media or what have you, learning the news of the day, and you were back in September of August of 2021, scratching your head as you watched those planes take off from Afghanistan with people clinging to the wings, right? Holding on and dropping to their deaths. We were all sitting there saying, what on earth is going on? And looking around like, am I the only one who sees this? No, you're not alone. Because he sees it too. He sees it, he knows it, he feels it, he tastes it, and he blames Joe Biden.
The hearts of all Americans tonight are with those 2 members of the West Virginia National Guard and their families. The love of our entire country is pouring out for them, and we are lifting them up in our prayers. As we are filled with anguish and grief for those who were shot, we're also filled with righteous anger and ferocious resolve. As President of the United States, I am determined to ensure that the animal who perpetrated this atrocity pays the steepest possible price. I can report tonight that based on the best available information, the Department of Homeland Security is confident that the suspect in custody is a foreigner who entered our country from Afghanistan, a hellhole on earth. He was flown in by the Biden administration in September 2021 on those infamous flights that everybody was talking about. Nobody knew who was coming in. Nobody knew anything about it. His status was extended under legislation signed by President Biden, a disastrous president, the worst in the history of our country.
You know, when he says that, the worst president in the history of our country, that's not a joke. That's not some line. That's not some shtick. That is absolutely true. Tell me what you have gone through over the last 4 years that you hadn't before. Everything changed in this country. All of a sudden, if you shopped your local Walmart store, there were new people whose carts were overflowing with things, and they didn't look like anybody you had ever seen before. But the left told you, don't judge. That's racist. That sounds discriminatory. That sounds nationalistic. And you're saying, no, it's not. Because I know that debit card they're pulling out and checking out with is loaded with thousands of dollars of my freaking money. And then this happens, the tip of the iceberg. And President Trump absolutely lays it on the doorstep of Joe Biden.
This attack underscores the single greatest national security threat facing our nation. The last administration let in 20 million unknown and unvetted foreigners from all over the world, from places that you don't want to even know about. No country can tolerate such a risk to our very survival. An example is Minnesota, where hundreds of thousands of Somalians are ripping off our country and ripping apart that once great state. Billions of dollars are lost, and gangs of Somalians come from a country that doesn't even have a government, no laws, no water, no military, no nothing. As their representatives in our country preach to us about our Constitution and how our country is no good. We're not going to put up with these kind of assaults on law and order by people who shouldn't even be in our country.
We're not going to tolerate any more the lies of the left. Every single time Jen Psaki stood up as the White House press secretary and that complete low IQ doomcough, Karine Jean-Pierre, who was a maddening exercise of idiocy and incompetence. They lied every day to your faces and then got elevated to different positions. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say this, but it's easy to understand how people hate the Democrats for what they've done to this country. Listen to Jen Psaki. Oh, we're going to flash back to 2021 when I believe this is Ed O'Keefe from CBS News. This is how well we pay attention to these people. Asking about these people on the C-17 aircraft. That's a lot of people. You vetting them? Oh, yeah, hook, line, and sinker.
I can absolutely assure you that no one is coming into the United States of America who has not been through a thorough screening and background check process. And there are many individuals, as you noted, who have not been through that process, and they have gone to lily pad countries as that process has been completed. It doesn't mean that that's because there's a flag. It means they have not completed their paperwork, and we were working to save tens of thousands of people. Hence, we evacuated them to these third countries.
We were working to save tens of thousands of people. Why don't they ever work for you? Why don't they ever work for you? Why don't they work for your family? Why don't they work for seniors? Why don't they work for the homeless? Why don't they work for veterans? There is nothing the Democratic Party does in this country that is of any benefit to anyone. In fact, they are a clear and present danger. You know, you want to get up and applaud Speaker Emeritus Nancy Pelosi. Oh, what a hero. What a leader. What a dirt bag. Can you imagine being a part of this apparatus for 40 odd years and still every single day being able to wake up and look at yourself in the mirror and be like, yep, I did that. I want you to hear this now. Remember when Alejandro Mayorkas was in the hot seat with Senator Josh Hawley from Missouri? Because we do. Then DHS Secretary Mayorkas admitted 2 months after Jen Psaki told us, no, they're vetting everybody, on everything, yeah. Or if we don't have time, they're going to put him in a lily pad country before we can bring him over, because that freaking made sense. And this is the moment where, in fact, Alejandro Mayorkas admitted, yeah, about the vetting. Yeah, not so much about that. Listen.
The standard procedure is an in-person interview for refugees or visa applicants. Now, you've testified that you're not doing those interviews.
Not at all.
That they're not happening.
You are correct that we are not conducting in-person full refugee interviews of 100% of the individuals.
What percentage are you conducting?
I don't have that information.
What number have been interviewed?
What we are doing.
Wait. What number of the more than 60,000 brought to the country? What number have received an in-person interview before they came to the country? Because you said 100% are screened. So what percentage have been given an actual interview by a trained official before they come to the country?
When you're speaking of a full refugee-like interview, I don't have that data.
What other kind of interview are we talking about? Like what? What? You're talking about a full refugee, like, this is where you have problems with Democrats. Because, first of all, it's always about checking boxes. It's not about merit. So the people who worked in this administration were complete morons. I mean, total morons. The same way Karine Jean-Pierre. I mean, don't you think you should have somebody who could physically speak if you want a White House press secretary? And Alejandro Mayorkas, well, you know, if you're talking about a full refugee-like interview, yeah, I don't have those numbers. That's why we're having a hearing. When we come back on the Wendy Bell radio program, as I'm now sweating, because I want to lunge through the camera and I want to grab Alejandro Mayorkas' neck and maybe throw him down the stairs. Donald Trump feels the same way. He's not done with his message to America. And I've got the rest of it next on the Wendy Bell Radio Network. I'm like spitting all over the place. Hair's back in like 10 minutes. So hot. Oh, it's so, you know what? And it's so, I don't feel as though we have any kind of vindication that we've been right by simply asking questions. That we were fired multiple times to silence us from asking, right? It does not make me feel any better that all of the suppositions and the questions and the things that make you go, aha, because they're obvious that we were right about all of them. Because now two Americans are fighting for their lives. And I'm sorry, but if the young woman got shot in the head.
After he shot her in the chest, I heard. Went up.
There is some granular detail that I find that I have to avoid. Or else I will wish cast evil upon people, which is kind of a dark place to be.
Mayorkas needs to be in jail.
Yes, 100%. And these are the people who have, where are they at the time? Where are the 85,000 missing children? What? Oh, I didn't know we were talking about. I'll have to get back to you. I don't have those details in front of me. Well, it's part of an ongoing investigation. I couldn't talk about that. That's top secret. That's classified. That's beyond my pay grade. We'll get back to you. Healthy Cell. I'm telling you what, I might have to do something very unusual today. And it's like this. The Calm Mood Microgel. Look, this is think about a wonderful new mouse trap. So doctors find that over a certain age, your stomach acid is not as, I guess, productive as it is in your younger years. And so you have a harder time digesting pills and tablets and things of that nature. And so a good chunk of the supplements, of the vitamins, the nutrients that we take, specifically by pill form, just kind of end up flushed down the toilet, if you will. This is a whole different ball game. These supplements are in these very handy dandy, easy to tear off, slurp in microgels. And the microgel is 165% more absorbed by the body than a pill or a tablet. So this immediately out of the gate, you're like, I like the methodology. I like the delivery of that. And then you start trying the products. I don't really need calm. I need focus. And so I take focus and recall every single day. And I will say to you, you feel as though you're sharp and you are on point. Whereas before, and that's important for me because I can weave like the best of them. And then there's the sleep one, REM sleep, off the charts. If you want to stay asleep, wake up completely rested, regardless of how much sleep you have. There's the immunity one, the super boosting immunity one. There's the cardiovascular one. There's the one for your glucose, your blood sugar. There's all of these formulations. They are on 20% off for if it's your first order. Healthycell.com/Wendy. I love this company. Love this company. Healthycell.com/Wendy. I will be with them as long as they want me because I believe in what they do and I use it every daggone day. So that's the difference between us and other people. We're not going to just tell you about something because they pay us. If I don't like it, I don't talk about it. And I love, you guys remember Canoladine. I use it every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Used it yesterday.
Used it today. I use it every day. Their marketing was terrible. And so we had to drop them. I was like, I can't do this anymore if you don't change your marketing. You get flooded by emails and whatnot. I'm like, that's abusive. And it sucks. And nobody likes that. And they couldn't fix it. So I was like, well, I'm sorry. No amount of money that you're going to give me is going to be worth all of the emails I got from people who were like, I can't get them off of. President Trump takes it personally when an American is injured, when an American is killed. Takes it personally. This isn't just somebody else's kid. It's not somebody else's neighbor or friend. It's not somebody else's mom or dad. This is somebody who matters to this president. And it is somewhat refreshing when you have felt for so many years that you are a nameless, faceless pocketbook into whose account the government likes to dip far too frequently. Donald Trump does not look at you that way at all. Audio soundbite number, what is it of his? 4. He says, you know what? We're taking action now. This guy was from Afghanistan. He shot our people point blank range. They are now fighting for life. We're done. Listen.
We must now re-examine every single alien who has entered our country from Afghanistan under Biden, and we must take all necessary measures to ensure the removal of any alien from any country who does not belong here or add benefit to our country. If they can't love our country, we don't want them. America will never bend and never yield in the face of terror. And at the same time, we will not be deterred from the mission these service members were so nobly fulfilling. That is why tonight I can announce that I have directed the Department of War to mobilize an additional 500 troops to help protect our capital city. We will make America totally safe again, and we will bring the perpetrator of this barbaric attack to swift and certain justice if the bullets going in the opposite direction haven't already done that.
You don't often hear him say stuff like that. And this is where he says, remember, these men and women are hired to do the most important job. That is to keep America safe so that America can be great again. It is a thanksgiving idea to give thanks to them.
During this time of the year, when we gather at home with loved ones, these two patriots were wearing the uniform of our country, patrolling the streets of our capital. They had taken a selfless oath to defend our nation against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And that is exactly what they were doing when they were gunned down in a savage attack. I want to express my extraordinary gratitude to every member of the United States military who is deployed tonight at home and abroad. I also want to thank the Secret Service and the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department for their work today. This Thanksgiving, I ask every family to say a prayer for the two great heroes who were so horribly shot, and for their loved ones. Please say a prayer. May God bless them and comfort them, and may God bless and protect the United States of America. Thank you and good night.
You know what? You got to hear this. You have to hear the voices that you know. Planting the seeds and watering the roots of a color revolution. I mean, that's exactly what this is. Think about this. What is a color revolution? It refers to a series of non-violent or mostly peaceful protest movements, often triggered by disputed elections that aim to overthrow semi-authoritarian governments and install pro-Western democracies, typically symbolized by a unifying color or flower. Triggered by disputed elections, you and I, when we had questions about 2020, we were called purveyors of the big lie. But these people believe that it is their right, it is their duty, it is their job, it is their mission to stop this president who's trying to fix what Joe Biden and Barack Obama fudged up. J.B. Pritzker, among the most toxic. And he says, look, Trump sending in the National Guard into Chicago or other cities, it is an attack on the American people. Tell me how that's possible.
It's an attack on the American people by the President of the United States. Now, he may disagree with a state that didn't vote for him, but should he be sending troops in? No.
You said he has other aims. What are the other aims?
The other aims are that he'd like to stop the elections in 2026 or, frankly, take control of those elections.
I've heard a lot of dumb stuff from Governor Waddle. Sorry, I had to. That is the voice of someone in on the revolution. Why wouldn't you want law enforcement? Why wouldn't you want your city orderly and clean and safe? Because you need chaos when you're running your own op behind the scenes. Who's paying these people? Where are they making their money? Is it the human trafficking? Is it the children being sold into sexual slavery? Is it the drugs? What is it, JB? It's very unbecoming. And we see you. Hour number 2 of the Wendy Bell radio program, from conduct unbecoming to conduct inciting murder. Those seditious 6. We've got some answering of questions to do next on the Wendy Bell Radio Network.
It's getting tiresome.
You have to be a little bit more
hearing he wants to get rid of elections.
Right.
It just all stems back to the same thing of
they want to get rid of
he's
elections.
not leaving. He won't leave. And
But these are the people who are protesting his landslide victory.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was only because Kamala didn't have enough time.
Yes.
Please.
She only had 100 and something days.
7.
107. Oh, that's the title of her book. Did you read it?
It was probably empty. No. I wouldn't read a coloring book if she put it out. They have a bunch of diagrams on it I have to color.
Yeah, him saying that Trump wants to do this and Trump wants to do that and he knows and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you know.
The only thing he knows what to do is order off the menu.
Every single day, we see examples of the Democrat. This is the whole thing. This is Karl Marx. You could throw people off their game by accusing your enemy of doing exactly what it is in real time that you're doing. And that's what they do. Anytime you hear a Democrat make an allegation about MAGA or about Trump or about this administration, they're making an admission about what they're currently doing. Right? And I think that's going to become much more obvious. Okay. Thanksgiving is it's no exception to me. When I drink Dr. Gundry's MCT Wellness, and this is the blueberry, which I love. There's a reason why I drink it. I don't know why. Why do we have to put these things in here? Like, what is that? Does it have to be as big as a goldfish? I don't think so. A scoop, if you drink water, if you just drink a bottle of water, or you take a glass of water, or what have you, to work, or whatever you do, of course, I just got it all over me. Why wouldn't you want to just put a scoop of this in it? Because Dr. Gundry lost 70 pounds drinking this every day. And you're like, wait a minute, how does that happen? How do you just drink something and all of a sudden you lose 70 pounds? Whereas most people feel like they have to starve themselves. Well, this is a phenomenal appetite crusher. Kills your cravings, kills your appetite, settles you down. It's sweet. But what this does, thehealthyfat.com/Wendy is how you get it. Thehealthyfat.com/Wendy. What this does is it triggers something in your body that says, hey, I don't need to hold on to these calories that we're holding on to just in case. So we're going to open up the door. We're going to flip this switch and you're going to get rid of them. And because of that, you, one, aren't hungry. Two, you're not hungry, so you could probably skip a meal. And when you do that, you can lose meaningful weight. And this is what Dr. Gundry has done. 70 pounds later, 20 years ago, he still drinks it and he still looks the same. He still looks 70 pounds thinner. And so we've had such great results from people calling us, emailing us, sending us messages. Hey, I lost 40 pounds. I'm on my way to 70, just like Dr. Gundry. Or, hey, I've lost 70, but I want to go to 100 this year. And you're like, say what? Like, it's not the only thing they're doing, but it's a wonderful tool to have. Thehealthyfat.com/Wendy. I love it. I drink it, and I drink it 7 days a week. So if that's any indication, it's pretty good. I love. Me loves. And the blueberry, I got to say about the blueberry, it's sweet and tart at the same time. And it satisfies you. If you need like a little bit of sugar, if you're one of those sugary people and you're like, I just need to have a little Snicker bar thing, or maybe 5, right?
It does satisfy.
It satisfies you. It satisfies you. I mean,
I am that guy.
You are a sweet treat kind of guy.
Yes. Is anybody deep frying a turkey this Thanksgiving? Can we?
1.85. Can we get to 2,000 rumbles? Can we get to 2,000 rumbles before we come back in 3 minutes? I think we can do that. 150. 150 is what we need. Just hit that thumbs up button underneath the video box. By the way, hey, one, never mind 2. Day 2 of Blood Flow 7. I'll keep you posted. Please do.
Yeah, give it a couple more days.
Please do.
I noticed it after day 3.
I love it. Goody likes deep fried turkeys. I've never made one.
I'm having one.
Ryan is brining ours. He brined it all night long. Jack is making a duck.
With no head.
2 ducks, I think. We're going to have a 25-pound turkey and 2 ducks for 20 people. The good news is I am a dark meat freaking lover.
You'll love duck. Have you ever had it?
Yes. Oh. Yes. And then Bobby is making his
mac and cheese.
5 cheese mac and cheese. I think Michael is going to help me make dill muffins. My mom's recipe.
Thanksgiving PSA. Day after Thanksgiving, if you're getting a sandwich and you didn't make it, make sure you check for extra additives.
Okay, if you're new to the show, I gave him a beautiful and succulent
it was
turkey
good.
sandwich, and I just had one of my hairs in it. Which made me almost Ralph. And so I threw, and he kept eating his. He
took the hair out.
He did one of these. I was like, and so he's like, hey. And I'm like, that is so gross. He's like, it's your hair. I'm like, I know. That's so
At least it was long.
Oh my God.
I mean, that's all I'm gonna say.
You know what? I'm gonna throw up.
It wasn't Murphy's, is what I'm saying.
I'm gonna throw up.
I'm saying it wasn't Murphy's.
I'm gonna throw up on the floor.
At least it wasn't.
You know what? Murphy did something the other day I haven't seen him do. He was eating leaves.
I'm not letting you.
He was eating leaves and then he barfed up a whole pile of leaves in the house. I'm like, well, apparently something's in your belly that you don't like. But did we have to do it in the house on the carpet?
Yeah.
And you're like, no. Quickly try to shoo them out, but they're like statues. And you're like, no. I'm like, thanks, Murph. Anyway, perfect for you guys who are cooking for me to be talking about barf. I'm sorry. You're getting everything right now, aren't you? Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wendy Bell, America's anchor mom, fighting for America 1 hour at a time. Welcome to the family. She once hosted a 3-hour show in just 15 minutes. She once intimidated the Electoral College to audit itself. Her monologues are so sharp, they're considered a concealed carry weapon. Fact-checker sites routinely issue her a retraction a week in advance. Even her commercial breaks trend on social media. Her freedom of speech has diplomatic immunity. She doesn't just drain the swamp has to ask for cab fare. Wendy Bell is the most interesting conservative woman on radio. Keep rumbling, my friends. 3 hours of bold truth and excellence. You've just signed up for the WBR Army. Strap in. This is the Wendy Bell radio program.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Wendy Bell radio program is live. You know, I'm not the only parent who's ever told their kids, hey, you better clean up your act because you are a reflection on me and on your father and on this family, right? Shouldn't we be having this conversation with the elected members of Congress? You are a reflection, your behavior, and one could argue we could have this conversation with Marjorie Taylor Greene right now. But we should be having it with the 6 members of Congress who decided to make a video that somebody, and we should find out who, wrote the script for and handed it out to various people in Congress, Democrats, with military backgrounds, right? To get up and encourage basically mutiny within the ranks of the armed services. So wholly disgusting, so completely un-American. As you well know, President Trump said, you know what? We know what the punishment is for treason and sedition. It can go all the way to death. And then, of course, the Democrats had to become the victims. Oh, the president's calling for me to be killed. No, he's calling for you to have conduct becoming your job, your title, as representatives of the United States of America. But now you've got to ask yourself, you're not just talking about conduct unbecoming the office. You're talking about conduct inciting murder. If you're going to go out and say, hey, if you're a member of the military and you don't like what's going on, you believe there's been an illegal order given. Of course, there has not been one that we've had identified of this president. Resist. Don't abandon the ship. Resist. So dangerous. And now we've got two National Guards members fighting for their life. I want you to hear Senator Alyssa Slotkin, former CIA, who went on TV last Sunday, right? We talk about this. And she claimed that the National Guardsmen in the cities that President Trump has deployed them to secure, to clean up, to make safe again, where they've done a phenomenal job. Look at Memphis. They found 121 missing children. I mean, we should talk all day about that. What they've done in D.C. should be commended. And Alyssa Slotkin last weekend was fear-mongering and saying that she could see the National Guard going in and starting shooting at people. Are you nuts? Yeah, listen.
Look at these videos coming out of places like Chicago. It makes me incredibly nervous that we're about to see people in law enforcement, people in uniform military get nervous, get stressed, shoot at American civilians. It is a very, very stressful situation for these law enforcement and for the communities on the ground. So it was basically a warning to say, like, if you're asked to do something, particularly against American citizens,
then you should resist, she is saying. That is a very dangerous lie. Guardsmen are going to get agitated and they're just going to be like, I don't know what else to do, and start shooting people. What? What kind of training do these people have? A lot. That's conduct not just unbecoming. That's conduct inciting murder. Alyssa, this gentleman you're about to hear, he's the former vice chief of the National Guard Bureau. He's a major general. Name is Randy Manor. And he's on CNN. And he said, you know what? The Guard watching over the American people. It kind of seems somewhat reminiscent of what the Nazis did in World War II. And you're like, what? Did the Nazis have to worry about illegal aliens flooding their country? Did they have to worry about all the drugs and the terror and the madness and the trafficking? No, what are we doing here, Randy? And why would you even say such an awful thing connecting the Guard to Nazis?
Actually, what the president is doing through the Secretary of Defense is creating units, official military units, to, quite frankly, watch the American people. And that's the thing that is absolutely abhorrent. It reminds me so much of what happened in Germany in the 1930s.
Hey, Randy, you know what it reminds me of? If we're going to have an analogy, it reminds me of, like, I don't know, 9 Republican senators and Congress people whose lines were wiretapped. It reminds me of all of the organizations, including Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA, that were being surveilled. Randy, you don't have to go back to the 1930s, dude. All you have to do is go back to the Biden administration. Randy, they've spent 8 months calling the National Guard Nazis and stormtroopers and Trump's secret police. And then they act confused when unhinged people take that garbage literally. They don't slip up, guys. They engineer the hostility. And now they're pretending to mourn the mess that they helped cause. So we're getting a little bit of good news yesterday. This just in, breaking news. Border agents and ICE agents apparently are about to surge into the Somalian-dominated communities in Minnesota after massive fraud has been exposed there. We've talked about it ad nauseum. This is Corey Lewandowski. He is a DHS, Department of Homeland Security advisor for President Trump. And he's talking with Benny Johnson on his podcast last night. And he's like, look, we are undeterred. We're going into Minneapolis. Listen.
I think in the coming days and weeks, you will see a dramatic change in posture in that community, because this is clearly a major story that requires intervention to fix the problem. And so I don't want to get too far in front of this thing, but if you're doing something illegally and you're in that community and you're in that state, I would recommend you self-deport. Go to the CBP Home app and get the hell out of the country.
Leave, because we are coming for you. Yeah, I voted for that. I voted for all of that. All of it. Every day. Twice on Sunday. Pollster Frank Luntz scolds Democrats for dropping the seditious 6 video. And he literally says, shame on you for playing politics with the military serving all over the world on Thanksgiving. How dare you?
My first reaction was, why the hell did you put this video out? I know you're trying to poke at him. Of course you don't obey an illegal order. Of course there are standards and processes that our military has followed, not just for decades, but for centuries. That's a given. You're doing this just to create a political issue. And shame on you, because there are men and women who are serving in Japan, in Korea, all over the globe, in the Middle East, in other Asian countries. And this is Thanksgiving. And they're not home. And they're sacrificing for this country. And you're playing politics at this point?
Disgusting. Now, when you plant the seeds and you use words like Nazi and resist and dictator and oligarch and all of this, and you plant the seed and then you water it and it begins to take root. And then it sprouts something like this gentleman who is a member of the Air Force. This is in June, ladies and gentlemen. Fully indoctrinated, the chip activated in this guy who has taken the bait that the Democrats have planted and says he's disgusted by America's deportation of illegal aliens. Listen to this.
Here in my hands, I have a written paper so I can be very articulate and clear about this message. May 2nd, 2023, I raised my hand and swore an oath to protect the Constitution and the land of the free with the people that reside within. The immigrants paying U.S. taxes, building homes, working blue-collar jobs. I swear to protect these people. They are our people, the ones that came into the U.S. authorized on a visa or green card, getting stripped away from families, undocumented children, losing parents, friends, siblings, pulled from homes to sit in a concrete room. They are kids. I don't need to be Hispanic to know this is wrong. I wear the name United States across my chest daily. I am a reflection of this country. I'm not proud to say this is a country I'm serving if it means destroying the lives of people that provide for this nation. Yes, there is a legal process, but it can be better. The colonists didn't have to pay thousands of dollars or get a visa to be on this stolen land. I might lose the uniform I wear, but then what is the First Amendment? Te escucho.
Te escucho. Together with the Nazi salute, which is what he did. Talk about an aggressive gesture, implying perhaps that he is listening or ready to follow in a manner aligned with an extremist or Nazi views. They created this, Democrats. They created that. That guy has been removed from the military. How many others are taking root out there? And now Alyssa Slotkin and Mark Kelly are merely watering their roots, hoping they grow. When we come back on the Wendy Bell radio program, Stephen A. Smith calling out Mark Kelly, but even his voice, even he has had some of the Kool-Aid from the left. And you'll hear it next on the Wendy Bell Radio Network. Hey, take lean. But this is actually not even about lean. It's about Brickhouse Nutrition. This is the Brickhouse. We got 2 more days of it. And I'm going to tell you, Brickhouse Nutrition, brickhousesale.com. This is how you get 30% off. 30% off everything in the store. Hover your phone, open it up. Here, I'll do it. You open up your camera, right? So I just go to my camera. Oh, okay. Well, that's not it. Here we go. The camera. I'm going to hover on the QR code. There it is. And it brings it up. There you go. 30% off. Black Friday sale is live. And everything that you're going to add to your cart is going to be 30% off. So whether it's the creatine for women, the creatine for women, whether it's lean, which is their #1 dietary supplement, this is another one of those products that offers incredible weight loss, like not just 5 or 10 pounds, but 30, 50, 70, 100 pounds. That's lean. That's also 30% off. And then, of course, the Field of Greens, which is the whole fruit organic vegetables, whole organic fruits and vegetables, put into this superfood drink mix that is Well, they have a guarantee that if your doctor doesn't say to you after looking at your blood test, after drinking Field of Greens for a while, that you should continue doing exactly what you're doing, that you look fabulous, they'll give you your money back. It's a guarantee. That's how serious they are that you're going to love these products. And now, 30% off today and tomorrow. It's the last 2 days of it. BrickHouseSale.com. And I don't think you need a promo code. Let me double check. Nope, no promo code. BrickHouseSale.com. It's good stuff. How are you guys doing? What's happening out there? You guys have given us a lot of weird money. I've got hair all over the place, you guys. I'm looking at it in this camera, and it's really a hot mess, but sorry. It's just going to be one of those days, I'm afraid. Let's see. Who gave us money? Everybody gave us money. Beck Warney, $20. Hello, Wendy and Bruck and all you Patriots. Army Dog, $777 $1 to get the crown. Myron, $54. $5 for Brock to keep his clothes on. Okay. $5.
$5 well spent.
$5 from Demanda. Happy Thanksgiving. That was cute. $2 from H. Berman towards pole dancing classes for Wendy and Brock. This is getting weird. Lexus, $350. What? $50. Happy Thanksgiving. That was very sweet. $20 from Pops, 11111, gobble, gobble, gobble. And M. Belasco, $5 just cuz. And don't forget Kamala Harris. Kamala, she was in that room. I was second in command. Yes. And approving of everything. That's what she's always said. ATL Mr. Wombat, $20, popcorn, toast, jelly beans, and pretzels fund. Happy Thanksgiving, Wendy, Brock, and all of the Army. Thank you. John Buffalari, $20. Thank you. I'm thankful for the truth we're allowed to hear and speak every day. I'm thankful that God blesses America. Yes. Thank you. I'm thankful for all of those things too. Okay. Well, you guys have to tell me these things. Brock isn't watching. He's not paying attention. So, I'm trying, guys.
I
Stop it. Be nice.
Well, I'm just saying sometimes you can't win a battle. So just making through is winning the war.
I'm trying to
The hair is a battle.
Yeah. Well.
Looks great.
I don't care.
It's not great.
I should really care. I know, right? I had a color last
see?
night. So you can still see some of the where they color your skin. At least I'm honest with you people. I'm chemically dependent. I'm sorry. Oh, how nice. McMouse says, thank you, mods. You know, I have to ask some of these people, particularly those with loud voices who have microphones. When you talk about what Trump has done to the Democrats, what Trump is doing to America, I'm kind of baffled by that. What exactly is it? Because fundamentally, you and I must see what's been going on in this country for the last 5 years and what Trump is trying to do to clean it up now, and what he's already been able to do in just 10 short months, totally differently. What has Trump done to the Democrats? What has he done? I don't know. He was elected. He was elected in a landslide. We didn't cheat. We didn't get extra ballots. I didn't get 10 mail-in ballots and fill them all out for Donald Trump. I don't know anybody who did. In fact, if anything, we were browbeaten to stay quiet about our support for President Trump, lest we be diagnosed as MAGA, extreme MAGA Republicans. What is that? What does it get you when you're an extreme MAGA Republican? It gets you a safer country. It gets you an administration that tells you every single day what it's doing, that makes itself available to the media. It gives you the idea that we're on the right path, that we're purging dangerous people, that we're pulling the plug on money-wasting grafts, that we're serious about finding people who want to hurt America and either bouncing them from our soil or putting them in jail where they deserve to be, and not just for a couple hours before some activist judge releases them. Stephen A. Smith says this as he's trying to, in the same breath, finger wag Democrats, especially Mark Kelly. And he's calling out Senator Mark Kelly for making a video encouraging actual insurrection, not insurrection like they created the illusion of at the Capitol on January 6th, but actual mutiny in the ranks of the U.S. military. And Stephen A. Smith goes after Mark Kelly while also slapping President Trump for what? I don't know, but I want you to hear it. It's very interesting. Go.
Respectfully, Senator, what the hell are you doing? Looking into the camera and telling military men and women to ignore the commander-in-chief. How dare you? How dare you do that? That's right, I'm calling out. I never served in the military. That's true. I have family members who did. Some of my best friends have. Marines, Air Force, Navy, Army. I haven't heard one of them, not one of them, say that was okay. How dare you do that? Is it treason? No. Is it punishable by death? It shouldn't be. So the answer is no. But you know better, Senator Kelly. You know better. How dare you do that? What are you supposed to do? You're a ranking senator. You could go to the Senate. You could go to the House. You can draw up paperwork. You can try to start articles of impeachment if you think there's something illegal. I mean, damn, it ain't like y'all haven't done it before. You impeached the man twice. Where'd that get you? Got us behind back in the White House. Had you left him alone since 2020, maybe he wouldn't be back terrorizing the Democratic Party the way that he is. But you did it. You did it. And here you are again with this nonsense. How dare you do that? I'm not a military person, and I know better than that.
Is he terrorizing the Democrat Party, Stephen? Explain that. Why? Because he was duly elected and nobody had to cheat, nobody had to lie, nobody had to coordinate mishaps at polling places, nobody had to have the 3 a.m. ballot dump at the convention center? How is he terrorizing Democrats? What, by winning? By having ideas? For making deals with foreign countries? For bringing back investment to this country? For believing in the brand and selling the brand as the CEO of the company called America? Is that how he's terrorizing the Democrat Party, Stephen? Because I'd like some edification, some granular data on that. Let's maybe hone in, drill down, Stephen. How is he terrorizing? He's cleaning up the mess that you voted for, sir. So do us all a favor and get off your soapbox and stop pretending like you care. Because we've been fighting for years and you've been a part of the problem. Suck it, Stephen A. Happy Thanksgiving. When we come back on the Wendy Bell radio program, court martial, really? You've got to hear some of these exchanges. You got these low IQ news babes, right? Who check some boxes for the left. Who can't believe that what the seditious six did could be punishable by court martial. Listen to their education coming up next on the Wendy Bell Radio Network. Terrorizing the Democrat Party. Okay.
Hey, can you say hi to
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Tessa G74 says her husband Rick is home and loves you.
Rick is a very intelligent man.
Well, I was questioning Rick's.
Rick is all that and
I
a
was
bag of
questioning
donuts.
Rick's taste.
Here's my thing to Rick. Ready?
How you do?
Really? How many times do you have to poo in my mouth?
Okay,
honestly.
Go ahead.
What was
Talk
the
to
big
Rick.
news?
No,
Remember
no,
when
no,
I
talk
had
to
big
Rick.
news? This is my big news before. I was all excited about our big news. I was about to drop the big news. And then Brock's like, well, obviously we're moving from 9 to noon to 3 in the new year. And I was like,
That's not how it went down.
that is exactly how it went down. You interrupted me and then stole the lead. And he was like, oh, yeah, sorry. Right? Rick, how you doing? I know. Well, it's great to have you. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you. Thank you. And to Tessa, thank you for sharing Rick with me. Hi, McMouse. Hi, Shark.
The ID for the victim's DC shooting, a 20-year-old Sarah Beckstrom and a 24-year-old Andrew Wolf. 20 and 24.
Huh. Bill Fred, you're right. It's called the Uniform Code of Military Justice, and it's not open for debate. It is what it is. And the military, as you're about to hear from this guest, to a baffled Abby Phillip, who tramples all over people when she's outwitted, which would be every day.
I was just gonna say.
Every day. She tramples all over conservatives. Why? Totally outwitted. She is a disappointment. I used to think, I used to think that Karine Jean-Pierre was cute too. Remember when I said that?
Oh, yeah.
And you're like,
Really?
shame on you.
Yeah.
And then I had to come out and be like, look, I am profoundly sorry. I was wrong. Shouldn't have said that. She's a blithering moron and a toxic disgrace of a box-checking lesbian immigrant.
I'll give you a little grace. You're not a man, right?
Yeah.
Men know women can be attractive until some of them open their mouth, and then it just
goes away.
Yeah. Karine if you'd have known that, if you would have
maybe
been a man,
I would have been
you
a
would have been a
little
little more like
maybe I would have been a little more cautious about
Right.
my.
right.
That is what 100 pounds looks like in 8 months. Isn't that amazing? That's just crazy. That's what Morgane's Fitness in Cambria and Somerset counties is all about. So no matter how much you have plumped up, fallen off the wagon, lost your shape, right? It's never too late to get it back. All you need is the right teacher. And her name is Kelly Morgan. Morgainz fitness.com. She does something in 90 days, like literally. So what's 90 days from now? So you've got December, by Valentine's Day. You could be a ridiculously small figment of your former self. We've seen people lose 15 inches in 90 days and lose 15 pounds of fat. And you're like, holy cow, how does that work? Well, you have to have the right food with the right exercise. And Kelly Morgan does it for you. Morgainz. Morgainsfitness.com. If you're local, check her out. Sign up. I think there's probably a waiting list still, but she's awesome. Let's see how your guys' Rumbles are doing. We're still floating at about 6,000 views, live views. I think that's pretty flippin' impressive.
Holiday?
On a holiday?
I'll take it.
On a holiday, 100%. You guys are phenomenal, and I love you for that. Stacy Mosier says, Rick is super excited. He just got in the middle of that one.
Yeah. Well, I said he got me in trouble. Way to go, Rick.
Whatevs, Rick. All that matters is that I love you. Everything else
Well,
is
apparently you
irrelevant.
made his whole holiday.
I did?
Yeah. And, now Rick got me yelled at.
Oh.
Possibly fired on the holiday weekend.
I don't think so. There we
Oh,
go.
no? I'm not getting fired?
I don't think so.
Okay, good.
Well, it's not Friday.
Well, there is no Friday, so it means I'm safe for the Monday.
I have a phone, don't you? I could text you.
Oh, getting fired over text or email, it's happened.
I got fired over email.
I know. I was sitting right next to you.
I love
Remember who
that.
talked you off the ledge from
public with it right away.
I was ready to hit video, go live, and he's like, no.
No.
Probably not going to say what you want to say.
Let's think about what we're going to say first.
I'm like, why ever would we do that? I'm always perfect in the moment. I never misspeak and speak out of my heart. Ever. What? The halfway mark of the show. Wow, we just hit 6,000. Hi. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome. Follow us. Hit the Rumble button. It's the thumbs up button underneath. And then go over it and hit the there are so many things that we can discuss that are so egregious. I mean, it's hard to focus on where you're actually going to go and ruminate for a while. But this whole video of the seditious six, as I think Trump coined the phrase, 6 former members of the military, current members of Congress, who decided to say yes to a very dark and dirty deep state game. We're gonna plant this seed of division, of doubt, of distrust in the military. We're gonna give you no examples of how Donald Trump has given any kind of an illegal order, but we're gonna make this video that speaks directly to the people who serve in the military who are a little unhinged. And I'm sure there are quite a few. And we're going to speak directly to those people. We're going to encourage them. Don't give up the ship. You don't have to obey an illegal order. Resist. Resist. And so then the media come out and they're like, hey, wait a minute. The friendly leftist media to the Democrat Party comes out to these people, Alyssa Slotkin, Mark Kelly, and they're like, well, wait a minute. What kind of illegal order has the president? Well, I'm not saying he has, but he could in the future, sort of like, you know, Enrique Tarrio, one of the January 6ers who wasn't even there, who got sentenced to 18 years in prison, not for what he did, but what he could do. I mean, this is crazy. You're talking lunacy. And then you have to highlight the morons in the mainstream media who don't seem to understand what's actually going on here. Abby Phillip is one of the biggest dopes of them all. Don't think for a minute that the seditious six didn't apply the training that they received by our intelligence agencies to record that propaganda video that undermines national security to sow division among the military. To do what? To do whatever needs to be done to overthrow President Trump. They tried it with impeachment. They tried it with lawfare. Tried it with gunfire. They tried everything they can. And now they're trying to dangle a carrot off of the stick to what I'm sure is a part of a disgruntled group in the military. I want you to hear Abby Phillip with, this is John Berman. I want you to hear John Berman. He's with Pennsylvania Congressman Chris DeLuzio. And he's like, look, I understand that the FBI is interested in talking to you and the 5 other members of Congress who put out this video. So what are you going to do that? Now, I want you to hear carefully how in the Democrats' world, even when they're at fault, especially when they're at fault, they're the victim. Listen.
What contact has there been from the FBI so far?
I'll leave that to defer that over to the FBI, but what's been reported out there is they've tried to contact me and the other members for voluntary interviews.
Do you plan on cooperating?
I'm not planning to sit down for a voluntary interview, no.
Oh, why not?
Well, look, everyone in this country has a right to refuse to do that, and I think this is a clear attempt to intimidate us. I'm a member of Congress. In the Article 1 of our Constitution, I have the President and his Justice Department and FBI trying to intimidate and silence his perceived rivals who stated the law. Remember, stated the law. The thing that we said, that our oath to the Constitution comes first, that no service members can ever be required to follow illegal orders, is something you learn your first day in the military and train throughout your time in uniform. And the president's response is to call for our arrest and death. And the fact that you now have Republican elected officials speaking up, saying this is out of bounds, saying enough is enough, it tells you something about how outrageous this really is.
It's outrageous is the people like Rand Paul who would say such things, right? These are the people who create the most division in our country. Then they give the Democrats the ability to say, oh, it's a bipartisan such and such. Oh, everybody, both sides say the same thing. No, you did something specifically to incite in a triggered and probably fragile subsection of the United States military. You tried to make the soil very fertile for the seeds you planted, sir. And now you're going to say, I don't have to sit down with anybody. I don't need to be intimidated and threatened by anybody. The Democrats can never explain themselves. They can't get into a conversation because they cannot defend themselves, which is why when you see people protesting like at Indivisible, No Kings, and you're like, your sign says Trump is a fascist. What does that mean? I don't need to talk to you because they can't explain it. They don't know what they're doing. Somebody's calling the shots. They, for whatever reason, are supposed to be following the marching orders, and we're supposed to expect these people to be qualified leaders to represent us. I don't think so. So this is a reminder to Congressman DeLuzio, and it comes from veteran Mark Lucas. He's with the Article 3 Project. And he says, look, we voted for this president in landslide fashion. And Congressman DeLuzio and others are trying to recruit the next wave of enemy insurgents from within the military. That is what they are trying to do. And they can feign, no, we're not. We just wanted to make sure people know that they've got rights. Really, listen.
President Trump won the 2024 election in a historic landslide. He won every single critical swing state. He also won the popular vote. He has a mandate to lead, and these radical Democrats are willing to do anything to stop him. They told service members they can refuse illegal orders. Yet when they were challenged by friendly mainstream media reporters, they could not identify a single illegal order issued by President Trump. This administration has faced dozens of injunctions by radical district judges. Many of these injunctions threaten our national security. Yet President Trump and his attorney general have won over 90% of their appeals to the Supreme Court. The seditious six don't care about illegal orders. They are trying to recruit the next wave of insurgents to attack President Trump. They want to inspire the next Mark Milley, John Brennan, and of course, a new wave of tyrants.
100%. And then here's Ken Cuccinelli. He's a former Trump Homeland Security official sitting on CNN on a panel with the low IQ Abby Phillip, who has to interrupt constantly interrupts the conservative guests and presenters on her panel because she does not understand what they are saying. Listen.
But look, the fact of the matter is, you zeroed in on Mark Kelly. He's in a unique position. He is covered by the UCMJ, Uniform Code of Military Justice. I used to do these cases many years ago. And he is, we'll give you an analogy. If 6 generals put out a video today about something Trump did yesterday, just say he sent troops to fill in the blank city to help ICE, and these 6 generals happen to put a video out the next day saying, hey, you don't have to follow illegal orders by the president, they'd be subject to justice under the UCMJ.
So are you saying, but hold on, are you saying that these senators, by simply reiterating what is in the oath for military officers, are subject now to court-martial? Is that really what you're arguing?
So only one of them, and that would be Mark Kelly.
Sure, but let's say any person who's a former military officer, their repetition of what nobody disputes that this is actually the code of conduct for the military. So their repetition of that code of conduct, you think, is enough to court-martial them?
So the UCMJ doesn't work like civilian justice systems. And I hear in your question sort of a presumption that it does.
No, my question is,
you don't need the kinds of intent in the military.
It's a basic factual question about, do you think that this is something that would actually warrant? So it's not like you're saying they're lying. They didn't say you must disobey the president. They didn't say this particular order is illegal and you should disobey it. They just said that You know that your code of conduct says this, and you should remember to not obey illegal orders. And you're telling me today that you believe that that is enough for someone to be court-martialed.
It could be, yes. I'm not saying that I would vote guilty here. I'm saying that there is a legitimate...
It sounds like you're backing away from it.
Because I think... And it all goes to hell in a handbasket because she's an idiot. Beyond that, it's actually not idiocy. That's like planned Democrat operative garbage, right? If there was no illegal order given, none that has been given by President Trump before then, Abby, why would these people come out and put out a video encouraging people to remember they can resist? There's only one reason why. And it's to trigger someone to take action. Abby? It's so disingenuous, it's so obvious, it's so ridiculous, and it is exhausting. Meanwhile, if you're Mark Kelly, you're not fighting for America. You're not in your state of Arizona doing anything good. Where are you as the one who could be court-martialed for this video? Well, of course. You bounce on over to Jimmy Kimmel, where you tell your base, I'm going to continue to resist, to which the audience, the rabid Democrat left loser audience, sorry, not sorry, applauds like crazy. Listen.
I mean, you can't keep track of this guy and what he says. And I'll tell you this, though. I'm not backing down. I mean, we said something very simple. Members of the military need to follow the law. We wanted to say that we have their backs.
It's unbelievable and it's so gross, yet it's so obvious and we can see what they're doing. Everything Democrats do is meant to disrupt the agenda that you and I voted for. They don't want America to be great. They don't want America to be safe. They don't want America to be clean. They don't want America to be affordable. They don't. Why? That is the question. Hakeem Jeffries, I don't know if we have time for it in this one. Yes? Hakeem Jeffries is on CNN talking about the 6 congresspeople refusing to cooperate with the FBI. Listen.
As the Democratic leader, do you believe your members should sit for interviews with the FBI?
There's no basis to this FBI investigation unless the FBI actually presents credible evidence as to why they are seeking to interview these 4 members of the House and 2 members of the Senate. Then I think we have to look at this whole request skeptically again. It was Donald Trump who ordered the FBI and the Department of Justice to investigate these members. He accused them of treason. He threatened them with death. And so it's not clear why we should take this investigation credibly. This is not something where the FBI is trying to follow the facts, apply the law, and be guided by the Constitution.
I do think it's important to point out, we have been told that the Pentagon is looking into an investigation. And what we know about the FBI, according to our reporting, is that they are seeking to schedule interviews. So are you saying, though, I just want to put a pin in this as well, are you saying that they should not sit for those interviews?
No, that's a determination that ultimately will be made by these patriotic members, all of whom serve the country, either as national security professionals in the military or both.
You hear it, right? You hear it. You feel it. I can taste it. My ire for these people is limitless because they are a threat to America. 100%. Point blank hate is what it is, friends. When we come back on the Wendy Bell radio program for some presidential foreshadowing, let's just say this. You know, the James Comey, Letitia James cases were reportedly dismissed earlier this week by an activist judge. But President Trump says, not so fast there, guys. Interesting. Next on the Wendy Bell Radio Network. Dr. Richard, no. I'm going to talk about him in a minute. I want to, wait, hold on. I almost forgot. I don't want to forget about Texas Bullion Exchange. You knew.
I knew.
You knew. Texas Bullion Exchange, wendylovesgold.com. So you heard me talking about Ireland contracting, about Healthy Cell, about Blood Flow 7, about Dr. Gundry's, thehealthyfat.com/Wendy. I tell you, I'm a user of products, right? I use the Chef IQ, the sensor, right? Used it on the grill when we make steaks last night. I use these companies. I buy gold and silver from Texas Bullion Exchange, wendylovesgold.com. I knew zero about gold and silver. I knew nothing about it. Do you have to have money on hand? Can you have investment money that you can use so you're not out of pocket? Yeah. Can you get silver bars and such in your hand? Yeah. Can I talk to an experienced professional about the best way to go about setting something up? If I'm a little tight on funds right now, is there a way I can? Yes, there is. And then when you finally pull the trigger and you get a shipment of gold or silver, and I'm not saying like gold coins dripping out of the place, but I've shown you two, and they're beautiful. Then you get to see beautiful things like this. And this is a full, let me see. This is, I don't know my glasses on.
10 ounce.
This is a 10 ounce.
So,
yeah, 10 ounce little brick, little bar of silver. And it's just absolutely beautiful. And this one, this is how it's presented to you. This is what they look like. This is heavy. And it's in a plastic thing, and it's got a special,
it's up to 53.29 right
a
now.
special thing here. So what would 10 ounces be then? About
$532 and
right here. $532 of pure silver. You can just walk around with it, hold it in your hand, and be like, "Oh, how you doing?" It's very awesome.
You could also get pushed down the stairs and have it grabbed off.
It will never happen. But it's like vacuum packed in this thing, and it's got its seal. And every time I go through what the beautiful pieces are I've been given in gold and silver from wendylovesgold.com, I realize that I have something that's very unique. Some of the pieces I have, there's only 2,500 of them in the world, and I'm one of them. And I'm like, it's very exciting. wendylovesgold.com. Open the door to the conversation. 855-927-5557. 855-927-5557. wendylovesgold.com. I really love these guys. They're wonderful. It's peace of mind, too, because not all of your money then is in the stock market, which is helpful. Super helpful. It doesn't it just baffle you when you hear people like Abby Phillip and you hear Hakeem Jeffries and you hear these people make excuses and beat the same horse over and over again, and you're like, it's so funny. This isn't how you treated the January Sixers.
Well, the Hakeem Jeffries.
Yes.
This is, uncalled for. And
right.
You impeached the president on a phone call where he released the transcripts.
Yep.
So don't tell me one thing.
Yep.
And I can't stand Timo Obama or Dollar Store.
He is a real
his
tool.
Speaking style is
he is a real tool, and it's so distasteful. So distasteful. I hate everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. And happy Thanksgiving, America. So the news earlier this week, which kind of got lost in the shuffle, was that the cases against James Comey and Letitia James were dropped by one of these liberal activist judges and just kind of put away for a while because the judge had some beef about Lindsay Halligan. I want to read you this from the Gateway Pundit because it's not over for these people. It's weird. Have you ever known someone for whom it seems every door gets opened, every advantage goes their way? There's somebody behind the scenes helping them, a connection. They get special this or that. They never are found guilty of, they always get a pass. Meanwhile, you think like if you did anything that had your nose out of line, even a smidge, that they'd come down on you. You'd pay the price. This is being a Republican in this country. Everything you do is supposed to be wrong, and yet when the left does what they're accusing you of doing, which you're not, they get away with it. This is why everybody is just so hungry for one orange jumpsuit. Give me one perp walk. Give me one mug shot. Give me one fingerprinted hand. Give me one, because the left never is held responsible for what it does. Donald Trump gave us a little bit of hope about that yesterday, which I find very intriguing. This is a headline from the Gateway Pundit. President Trump issues warning to Comey and Letitia James after Clinton judge dismisses their criminal cases. President Trump issued a warning to James Comey and Letitia James after a judge dismissed their cases. Federal judge Monday dismissed the criminal case against James Comey and Letitia James without prejudice, which means it is only dismissed temporarily. Judge Cameron McGowan Curry, a Clinton appointee, ruled that U.S. Attorney Lindsay Halligan's appointment violated the Appointments Clause of the Constitution. Let's not worry about the criminality of what these two clowns are accused of doing. Don't worry about their serial criminality. We're going to get caught up in some kind of technicality. The judge also said Attorney General Pam Bondi's attempt to ratify Halligan's actions were, quote, ineffective. Really? Comey did somewhat of a victory lap after the judge's ruling. He also lashed out at President Trump and accused him of of course, there's the victim, accused him of weaponizing the Justice Department to go after his political enemies. I mean, come on. It's so funny. It's so ridiculous. It's so obnoxious and disappointing. Now it just pisses me off. A message has to be sent. This is Comey. A message has to be sent that the President of the United States cannot use the Department of Justice to target his political enemies. This is what Comey put on a video on Instagram. I don't care what your politics are. You have to see that as fundamentally un-American and a threat to the rule of law that keeps us all free. They tried to bankrupt Donald Trump. They accused him of all sorts of things, and all those legal cases. Yesterday, the last one crumbled, and we're going to talk about that coming up. But Trump said something. Trump said, not so fast. They got out on a technicality, the president said, aboard Air Force One. And you're going to see what happens from here on. Let's see what happens over the next week, President Trump said. Now, the only reason I say that is because whether or not you believe it, I do. Donald Trump knows an awful lot more than he lets us know about what's going on. We could argue how he knows, but he knows, and he very rarely gets it wrong. So if he goes on the record with reporters on Air Force One and says, yeah, the story isn't over yet, I would say, James Comey, I wouldn't go take a victory lap just yet. Letitia James, I wouldn't think that you're out of that boiling pot of hot water just yet. What's going to happen next? I don't know. But I'm kind of excited now for next week. Hour number 3 of the Wendy Bell radio program is on tap next. The left's lawfare against Donald Trump was never about the law, as prosecutors have now officially dropped the last criminal case against Trump. None of them stuck. All of them were garbage. Isn't that amazing? That's what weaponization looks like, Mr. Comey. Next on the Wendy Bell Radio Network. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Oh, I'm going to get more coffee.
I don't know if you guys saw this. I don't know if Wendy is using it. I don't want to step on her toes. But Eric Swalwell Guess which judge got his case? It's amazing. Guy gets all these cases. He must be so busy. Boasberg. Boasberg got his case. It's amazing how everything just falls in that guy's lap to take care of and judge for America. And they want us to think that it's not rigged, that it's all not rigged. Well, quit using the same playbook for absolutely everything. If he gets every Trump case and then he gets Eric Swalwell's case, how can you think it's not rigged when that's the case? When this is what happens every time, how can you think it's not rigged? Asking for a friend. It's just they don't even try to make it look good. Like, oh, we got this judge that we've never heard of. And then you sit there and think, well, maybe it's not rigged. But then you put Boasberg out there and they don't even try to make it look good. You just automatically think, oh, I know how this is going to happen. I know how this is going to work itself out. Boasberg. What a tool. Did you tell the boys to use the sniper when they're cleaning up after cooking?
Oh, I did it yesterday because there's poultry stuff all over the place.
Oh.
And I was like, duh. And I said to them, I'm like, this is what you need to get rid of all of the yuck in the poultry juices, any kind of meat juices. Like, I love meat, but not that kind of meat, raw meat. But it works. It's beautiful. So you've already talked about disinfectwithsniper.com?
No.
Disinfectwithsniper.com. This is our company. This is the brand that we use to stay healthy and clean. And look, this is one of these products that everybody can get behind. It's 100% safe for your family, for your children, for your pets, for your everything. This is a hospital-grade disinfectant, antibacterial, antifungal, antimicrobial. If you, my husband every now and again gets athlete's foot, and I know drives him nuts. It's very uncomfortable. You start feeling a little bit of athlete's foot, you spray this in between your toes or wherever it knocks it out. What? How's that possible? I'm telling you what. You have kids who play football, lacrosse, whatever, hockey, and their shoes smell like bleh. Their gear smells horrible. You spray this on it. It not only kills all of the germs and takes care of all the bacteria, you don't have to wipe it off. What? Yeah. Worth its weight in gold. And it's free shipping right now. So I know, free shipping. That's like, it's crazy. He's beating Amazon pricing, disinfectwithsniper.com. Then while you're there shopping, don't forget to pick up some of these Hunt Chef spices. These are the spices that we're using. Literally gone into my cupboard and said, I've had the same spices for 20 years. This is disgusting. Okay. The big tall ones from McCormick's or whatever. So I'm replacing them with these. They are phenomenal. If you add some of these to your sniper, you'll get free shipping on everything. If you buy these separately, you have to pay for shipping. That's why I'm like, just throw them in there with your stuff, right? Disinfectwithsniper.com. Also, this is very exciting because Dr. Dubiak wanted us to talk to you guys about something too. So today and tomorrow, this is limited. Transform your health with exclusive Black Friday savings on the GLP-1 weight loss and IV therapy. Now, spots are limited. Once they're gone, they're gone. So they have this whole weight loss kickstart. This is for new patients only, new patient exclusive. Begin your transformation with our medically guided GLP-1 program designed to help you lose weight faster, safer, and sustainably. You get a month of the meds. You get an initial consultation and all of the blood work. This is a deal. You get personalized weight loss plan and medical monitoring for $399. That's $200 off. only new members. Now, they have a VIP member special, $100 off the GLP ones right now. If you're already a part of BodyByAim360.com, this is for you. You're going to save $50 on your next month of GLP-1 medications, and you're going to get an added IV drip for only $99. They're normally $150 to $169.
You're worth
it. BodyByAim360.com. 412-227-9255. Period. That's a great deal. That $399 for new people. Try a month of the weight loss drugs. Get the entire initial consultation and the blood work. The blood work alone is more than what you're going to be spending on this. And you're going to get the weight loss plan personalized to you and medical monitoring. $399. Are you out of your mind? Well, if you've been on the fence about doing this, now is the time. BodyByAim360.com. There is a hair in my shirt that's driving me absolutely batty. Can anybody else feel it like that sensitively? I can. Drives me crazy.
Better than your sandwich.
Oh, God. I'm never going to make you anything again. That's all you get. No. You're going to get nothing and you're going to love it. Okay? You get nothing. No soup
It's
for you.
Thanksgiving. I have to get it in today.
Diggs being a jerk?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Jolene will take care of that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no pumpkin pie. It's a travesty.
You know what? How about you freaking make something? What are you taking?
Ready Whip.
Oh.
4, 3, 2, 1. Wendy Bell, America's anchor mom, fighting for America 1 hour at a time. Welcome to the family.
We're going to win so much. We're going to win at every level. We're going to win economically. We're going to win with the economy. We're going to win with military. We're going to win with healthcare and for our veterans. We're going to win with every single facet. We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore. Mr. President, it's too much. And I'll say, no, it isn't. We have to keep winning. We have to win more. We're going to win more.
3 hours of bold truth and excellence. You've just signed up for the WBR Army. Strap in. This is the Wendy Bell radio program.
Welcome back. Hour number 3 of the Wendy Bell radio program is live, and we wish you a very, very warm and safe and happy Thanksgiving. I'm delighted to be with you. Hopefully you're elbows deep in some kind of a turkey right now, stuffing it, getting ready. Just glad you're here. Did you hear? Because it didn't make a huge splash. Certainly didn't make the splash as Donald Trump and his arraignment, right? Remember his arraignment in Fulton County, Georgia? Remember the mugshot, the infamous mugshot that created how many merchandise avenues for people? So many. The last lawfare case against President Trump quietly got put to bed yesterday. What? I think it's funny that Hakeem Jeffries in the last segment, when he was talking to CNN, said he didn't think it was necessary to sit down if you were a part of the seditious six who encouraged military mutiny. To sit down with the FBI and ask, that sounds like weaponization to me, said Hakeem Jeffries. What a moron, but what a liar. What a propagandist. What a deceiver. Everything that has happened over the last 9 years to this president has been about weaponization. And it all came crashing down yesterday with barely much of a whisper. I'm going to read you the article from the Washington Examiner. Judge dismisses RICO case against Trump in Fulton County, Georgia. Wait a minute. This was the case where they were like, breaking news. Donald Trump's trying to overturn the election results. Oh yeah, except no, that's not really at all what happened. So gross. Let's read the story. Fulton County Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee dismissed the sweeping racketeering case against President Donald Trump and several of his allies, which accused them of attempting to overturn the 2020 election result in Georgia. This happened yesterday after the new prosecutor on the case requested the charges be dropped. Well, why ever would that be? Oh, because we've beaten that piñata. There not only are no more Tootsie Rolls, the thing is completely eviscerated, okay? It's gone. It's done. McAfee granted the request to dismiss shortly after Peter Skandalakis, director of the Prosecuting Attorneys Council of Georgia, requested the case be dropped, quote, to serve the interests of justice and promote judicial finality. Oh, so it's justice that we all finally all now know that it was garbage, mumbo jumbo, lawfare, weaponizing, all of the crap that the left is claiming that President Trump is doing by, enforcing the laws of our country. Isn't that interesting? So Fani Willis, of course, she was the one who was bounced because she was having sex with that guy, Nathan Wade. See, it's funny because the judge who threw out the case against James Comey and Letitia James had a beef with Lindsay Halligan and had a beef with her being in some regard invalidated. She should not be the one presenting this case. Well, it's so curious because Fani Willis was having an affair with Nathan Wade, who was he was like a divorce attorney. And she brought him in and was paying him like $1 million. I forget what it was. It was some ridiculous amount. And on one of his timesheets, he indicated they had worked 24 hours in a day. And I'm like, really? That is amazing. And all of the lies and the bull crap that went on there as they bounced to all these beautiful tropical destinations together while simultaneously working to take down Donald Trump, don't you know? That is where we are with this story. Skandalakis explained in his filing to the state court Wednesday that there would be significant logistical and timing difficulties if he attempted to move forward with the case. And he notably also argued, quote, the overarching theory of this case is not a viable basis for prosecution. Remember when Fani Willis indicted Donald Trump and Rudy Giuliani and Mark Meadows and more than a dozen other Trump allies in August of 2023 over their alleged plot to overturn the 2020 election results in Georgia? Well, it was funny. It was really just Donald Trump calling Brad Raffensperger, the scumbag Secretary of State there, and Brian Kemp, the governor, both Republicans, and saying, you guys, how do we go to bed up thousands, tens, hundreds of thousands of votes? And then all of a sudden we wake up and I've lost votes. Like, in what world does vote tallying coming in go down? You're never supposed to lose votes. They tabulate them upward. Well, that's not what happened on November 3rd of 2020. And so Trump called and he's like, hey, dude, you got to figure this out. People have questions about election integrity, and I do too. He's trying to overthrow the election. And it's like, what are you even talking about? That's how depraved and craven they were. Overarching theory of this case is not a viable basis for prosecution. A highly publicized case, which led to Trump becoming the first former president to have a mugshot taken, faced problems early on, particularly when defense attorneys surfaced Williams' romantic relationship with special prosecutor Nathan Wade, which ultimately derailed the entire case, right? No, I'm not doing anything I shouldn't be doing. Well, isn't this you and he going through airport security? Isn't that you in the TSA line? It seems very cozy. The whole thing was predicated on nonsense. And Fani Willis got pulled off of it. Hopefully her life has changed. Probably not, as a box checker. The highly publicized case, of course, as we all watched it, derailed. The revelation led to McAfee ruling in March 2024 that either Wade or Willis would have to leave the prosecution in order for it to continue. The Georgia Court of Appeals later ruled on appeal in December that Willis and her office would be disqualified from prosecuting the case? Well, one, she's an idiot. Two, the case was moronic and fabricated. Three, she was fiddling around with the guy who was married. And four, then they lied about it. At least she did. Other than that, I'm sure it's solid. Complete open and shut case, right? This is the story as it broke last night on CNN. And I wanted you to hear this because the reporter is almost vomiting in her mouth as she's trying to explain the warfare, the warfare, and the weaponization that we've tried to foist upon this president. This is the last case. This is all we had. We have nothing left, which is why we had to drop that stupid video about sedition. Listen, this is a CNN report.
This is CNN Breaking News.
We are following breaking news just into CNN. A Georgia prosecutor officially dropped the historic racketeering case against President Trump and others for attempting to overturn the 2020 presidential election. I want to go right to CNN's Kara Scannell. What are you learning, Kara?
Good morning, Pam. Yeah, this new filing in from the prosecutor who had taken the place to look into the Fulton County investigation of Donald Trump and others has filed a motion with the court saying that they are not going to move forward with the case. They're dropping the charges. What he filed what's known as a nolle pros, and that means that in theory, because if the statute of limitations hasn't run out, a case could be refiled. But he attached to his filing about a 20-page statement explaining his rationales for why he did not think that they should move forward with this case. You'll remember this was the case that began with Donald Trump making the call to the Georgia Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, urging him to find the votes. And then District Attorney Fani Willis brought this historic investigation and filed those racketeering charges against Donald Trump and dozens of others for interfering with the 2020 election. She was then disqualified from the case because of an undisclosed romantic relationship with another prosecutor. And that is how this case now fell into the hands earlier this month of a prosecutor who was assigned the job of trying to find someone to take on this case. He said that he couldn't because there were too many conflicts, and he took it on himself. Now we're seeing the results of that, and that is that he is saying that they are not going to move forward with this case. And he summarized it in part by saying that he made this decision by examining the case file, examining what the jury had been presented, and also considerations of the law. He says that, contesting an election is not unlawful, but and that is part of the reasons for why he decided not to move forward with the charges.
Whoa. Did you hear that? Contesting an election is not unlawful. What do you think January 6ers were doing that day? They didn't go to the Capitol with knives and guns and rocks and bricks, brass knuckles, frozen bottles of urine. They went to the Capitol knowing that what they saw on election night was wrong. And they went because it was their constitutionally protected right to demand their elected representatives listen to them. And they got thrown in prison. I don't want to hear anything about weaponization from these people ever again. When we come back on the Wendy Bell radio program, do you guys see the new billboards that are out? Oh, yeah, the Seditious Six, this whole idea, this whole campaign encouraging the military to reject Donald Trump, commander-in-chief orders. Well, they've cranked it up a little bit. They've created a billboard, public service announcement for the military. Oh, my. Next. Let me tell you about the Disc Institute of Pittsburgh and Dr. Richard Rafferty. I think sometimes when you have no more hope, it's easy to get into a spiral. And when chronic pain robs you of your hope, you can understand how people get dark, depressed, distant from the things they love and the people they used to enjoy spending time with. You don't have to. If a herniated disc is causing you pain, and look, 8 out of 10 of us is going to have issues. 4 out of 5 of us is going to need some kind of a spinal expert. That's what it is over the course of our lives. And if the issue for you is a disc, Don't get surgery until you talk to Dr. Richard Rafferty from the Disc Institute of Pittsburgh, or at least check out his website. Because he does something that is magical, but it's actually science and is clinically proven to fix and allow discs to grow back. How's that possible? I have no idea. But he's done it thousands upon thousands upon thousands of times. And his success rate, like what's a good success rate? 80%? It's 98%. 98%. And after 5 years, 96% of his patients report still being pain-free. 412-906-9600. 412-906-9600. I don't know why you wouldn't want to call. I don't know why you wouldn't want to go to Disc Institute, PittsburghDiscInstitute.com. There's so much to see. There's so much opportunity there. Don't live without hope. You don't have to. It's nice to know when somebody's on your side, you know?
So Pam Bondi came out and said the National Guard, the girl, volunteered so others could go home for Thanksgiving. And that they both came through surgery. She said, I'm not going to talk about their conditions right now. I know their families are with them. She volunteered.
Will you send me that? Huh. I knew Kelly was going to make a promo out of Stephen A. I bet you that's what Michael uses too for Instagram and TikTok and X.
I hope he sees it.
He'll see it. Why wouldn't he see it?
No, Stephen A.
Oh, why would he see it? He doesn't care. He doesn't know me. Maybe we'll blow it up and make him see it. I don't know how that works. I love that you guys are here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We're still on one of the small boxes. Badlands is in the big box. All right. We're better looking than they are.
Yeah, we only had the big box for about 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Take it.
Yeah.
Every little bit helps.
Yep.
Let's see. How many followers?
We have 6,100 people watching right now, which I think is freaking fantastic.
40 new followers today.
All right.
The show.
That is awesome. Thank you. Yeah, so our goal is to get 100,000 by next April. So we hit 75,000 followers on Rumble, and that's that button right underneath the video box. And we had hoped for 75 by the end of the year. We hit it before Thanksgiving. We hit it by last Thursday, which was huge. A week ago. We were not expecting that, but it was like we're getting like 100 people a day. Like 100 people a day, which I think is phenomenal. Thank you. This is just ridiculous, this story. That the prosecutor who took over for Fonnie Willis in this ridiculous lawfare case, or rather election interference case, this RICO case, racketeering, he tried to overthrow an election. Yeah, well, you know what? He did not cheat and steal and win. Joe Biden did. All these people outraged. Donald Trump tried to overthrow the election. You guys rigged and cheated and flooded America with mail-in votes. You had secretaries of state in blue states wave magic wands and change the requirements. If there's a date on it, we don't care. No signature guarantee. It doesn't matter. You don't know where these came from? Just throw them in anyway. Well, I'm sure it'll all work out. Donald, I can't imagine being accused of everything under the sun because you're everybody's favorite punching bag scapegoat and being guilty of none of it. Meanwhile, the people who are guilty, i.e. Joe Biden, who's $30 million richer today because of nefarious, disgusting deals he and his crime family syndicate managed to coordinate with China and Kazakhstan and Ukraine and Russia, right? And yet he can do whatever he wants. That's fine. Donald Trump doesn't do anything, gets accused anyhow, and has to go through some litigation process that costs tens of millions of dollars. The point, to drain the coffers of his PACs dry and to ruin the name of the Trump brand. Interesting. Well, now it seems the resistance has cranked things up a notch. Breitbart.com headline, billboards urging National Guardsmen to refuse orders from Trump admin sprout up around the country. Really? Huh. I wonder who's behind that. A left-wing group is putting up billboards in high-crime cities where President Donald Trump deployed the National Guard, telling military service members that it is not what they signed up for and encouraging them to refuse unlawful orders. Actually, it is what you signed up for because you sign up to follow commands. You obey. Now, that doesn't mean you're a robot, but baked into the entire crux of the military is chain of command. And if there is no chain of command that you pay attention to, that you abide by, and everybody can just willy-nilly do what they want, what do you have? You have chaos. That's the point. Win Without War, a self-described diverse network of activists and national organizations working for progressive foreign policy. This is one of the elements of the color revolution, ladies and gentlemen. Launched its billboard campaign in September in Washington, D.C., before expanding to Chicago and Memphis and military bases Fort Bragg and Camp Lejeune in North Carolina. One of the billboards asks, did you go airborne just to pull security for ICE? Before directing people to a website called notwhatyousiguedupfor.org. Notwhatyousiguedupfor.org. And the website then instructs service members to get Win Without War's resources on their personal devices using Proton Mail and Signal and a virtual private network for encrypted access. Really? Why ever would you want it to be so quiet? The resources include veteran legal organizations aimed at sharing, quote, guidance on refusing illegal orders. You see everything that they're trying to do, of course. Social media users drew similarities from the billboards to the recent video made by Democrat senators and representatives telling service members to refuse illegal orders from the Trump administration. An October press release from the organization explains that static and mobile billboards were put up around the country following the, quote, unprecedented deployment of the National Guard into cities. Is it unprecedented? I remember Kent State. When you have a disruption of law and order and a president calls in the Guard, there is a reason for that. But when you believe that Donald Trump is an illegitimate president because you didn't like that he won in a freaking landslide, hey, anything's on the table. Nothing's off limits. Even something as vile as this. One of the signs in Memphis, which, by the way, just had a tremendous surge of National Guard and ICE agents, hundreds of arrests, as I mentioned, 120 odd. Missing children found. One of the signs in Memphis reads, Tennessee Army National Guard, you joined to serve your community. So what are you doing in Memphis? You know exactly what's going on, and they think you're stupid. Or they're just so used to getting away with it. All right, when we come back on the Wendy Bell radio program, let's make this simple. No more dying. The president's always been clear. If you kill people, you're not going to make a deal with me. Why this is germane today? Next on the Wendy Bell Radio Network.
So, Kristen Patrick is first time here today.
Hey, Kristen. It's great to have you. I'm sorry. I'm just
And
stretching.
apparently Rick is dancing with the. You made him so happy. He's dancing with the turkey.
Is he?
Yeah.
Why don't we have a picture?
I don't know. We can't get pictures here.
Is that right? I think this is wonderful news.
What's horrible is my brother finally created a Rumble page.
Your brother did.
Yeah.
Why?
So he could Rumble, but I don't know if he followed or not.
Your brother's pretty bright. I'm gonna go. Wow. Let me tell you about the Simkovich Concussion Institute because Brock might need that later. You know, it's pretty amazing how easy it is to hurt your brain, to break your brain. And it's wild. I didn't realize that even a significant blow to the head doesn't show up on a CT or an MRI or an X-ray. It's not like there's some telltale sign like I see when my husband's looking at people's heart vessels and arteries and whatnot. You can see where blockages are. You can see this blood going in and then it stops, right? When you look at the brain, that's not how it shows up. So going to your PCP and being like, I think I have a concussion is all well and good, but it's maybe not necessarily where you're going to get your answers. I'd rather go to a guy who uses his hands, not needles and scalpels and cutting instruments, but his hands, and pushes in your mouth and feels all of the various elements of your mouth and your soft palate, your sphenoid process. It's really the key of it all. And can tell. He can tell. He can diagnose you. He can tell. And then he can fix you. And you're like, wait a minute, how do you fix a broken brain without cutting into the brain and doing something to like, I got to manipulate it, right? No, you don't. You just need to go to the right person. And the right person for me is Dr. Simkovich, Dr. Charles Simkovich. He's the sweetest guy ever. He's a goofball and he's funny and they love fixing people. So if you have chronic headaches, or you know you're not right, something happened to you somewhere along the way, do not suffer. Please do not suffer. There is hope. This is just like Richard Rafferty, just for the brain. And his name is Simkovich. SimkovichConcussionInstitute.com. 412-366-3700. I would not act as a go-between between our friend who has terrible tremors, shaking really difficultly for her for years, right? Cannot control her hands. And it would not be uncommon for her hands to move like this. Imagine putting on mascara or even lipstick or writing a check or holding a glass and drinking. Like
2 weeks.
She's going. Like we were able to connect them with Dr. Simkovich and they were like, we're going to try whatever we can to help you. And I'm like, amen. Let's go. I wouldn't talk to you about this guy every single day if I didn't know what he does works. Makes a difference. 412-366-3700. 412-366-3700. Simkovich Concussion Institute.
Michael Martin, 1968, first time here too.
Hey!
Liking it. Did he follow though? That's the question.
Thank you. You need to come back. We're not going to be here tomorrow. It's one of Brock's only days off in a year. I think, in fact.
No, this will be my third day off.
In 5 years.
No, I've probably had 6 days off in 5 years. It's fine. Mm-hmm. She didn't want to pay holiday time.
Right. Or it's Brock's fault and Brock's doing. We wouldn't want to let the facts get in the way with his feelings.
Listen, we can relax. Michael Martin followed. Still have not received confirmation if my brother has followed.
Have we received confirmation that the guy dancing with the turkey followed?
That's a good question. I don't know if Rick is listening.
I don't know.
That's a good question.
Can Tessa tell us?
Yeah. Come on, Rick.
Look, I'm all about results.
Everybody start giving Rick on Rumble a problem.
We're just glad you're here. We do this every single day, and we're moving in January 5th. We're going to be moving to that 12 to 3 spot, which is different, but it's going to give us a little bit more of a life. Maybe we can see our spouses again. We'll see how that works.
See if they enjoy that.
It's been a few years since since that's happened, and maybe to get more than 5 hours of sleep a night. I think that's going to be beneficial.
I'm gonna try.
Beneficial. That's going to take some time.
Well, I'm gonna have to retrain my dog.
Yeah, that's true.
And cat. So we'll see.
They'll figure it out.
Yeah.
What the hell, Rick? I love that Joe Buff is giving Rick some hell. Let's go, Rick.
Yeah, Rick.
Whatever.
Oh, Rick rumbles from his work truck every day.
Hey, Fusco, you often have a joyful vibe with attitude. Motor On says that about A Fusco. Okay. You guys are having all these ancillary conversations. I love it. What? What?
Someone said that my brother's here, but I don't see it. So
I haven't seen Toolsy.
Yeah.
But I know Toolsy came home from the bars a little late last night.
Must be nice, Toolsy.
Hey and Jack.
I was up bed early, up early.
No, literally, I'm up. This Thanksgiving Thursday to the Wendy Bell radio program. Every Thanksgiving's on a Thursday. That sounded kind of dumb, but you know what I'm saying. So I want to talk to you about this, and this is a very consistent thing about this president. And I think it is worthy of review. It's something that we should remember and talk about commonly. He wants people to stop getting killed. Shouldn't we want a president? Shouldn't the world want a leader from the United States who actually cares about life? It's become so passé, and it happened during COVID almost. It happened in my state of Pennsylvania. It happened in New York. It happened in Maryland, in Connecticut, in New Jersey. These blue states banding together and making the same awful, deadly decision to send senior citizens recovering from COVID out of the hospital and into nursing homes to infect people already who are so fragile. And how many tens of thousands of American seniors did we lose during that? Nobody cared. Not that administration. They didn't care. Freaking Andrew Cuomo yucked it up with his brother and a giant Q-tip because it was so funny that people were getting frontal lobotomies at the beginning of COVID, getting swabbed. Do you remember how absolutely barbaric and insane that whole chapter was? And then he won a freaking Emmy. An Emmy for his evening powwows where he's talking about what we're doing in New York. Blah, 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 blah. I'm killing people, but we're hiding all of the details. What a filthy dirtbag. Absolutely no regard for life. There's no regard for life on the left when it comes to abortion. Look, you and I can have a spirited debate about all of that. But if you're going to be on the side of full-term abortion where you think that's reasonable, I don't really think that we have a lot of common ground. There's nothing there for me to discuss. We seem to have no interest in talking about how many veterans kill themselves every day. There seems to be no concern on the left about that. There's no concern about the illegals who've crossed our border and killed how many people? Whether it be with commercial driver's licenses that are completely fraudulent and bogus, given out by blue state governors like Newsom, like Pritzker, like Hochul, to kill people on the highways, Or it's the illegal aliens who rape and murder our daughters. Laken Riley, Jocelyn Nungaray. How many more do you need to have? Donald Trump is the president who wants people to live. Live and prosper. Live and procreate. Have lots of babies. Live and enjoy life. And if you're anti-life, he doesn't have a whole lot to negotiate with you. And I think this was a very telling headline. I mean, think about that. This is my rub with Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith, we heard in an audio soundbite about midway through the program, saying that Donald Trump is terrorizing the Democrat Party. As out of the other side of his mouth, Stephen A. was saying to Mark Kelly, the senator, how dare you? How dare you encourage insurrection within the military? Right? How does President Trump, by saying simply, can we just stop the dying? Can we stop people from dying? Can we stop the murder? Can we stop the loss of life from yet another generation of people? Thinking about Ukraine and Russia and the 25,000 people dying there every month or week or whatever it is. It's astronomical. It's completely stoppable. And yet he's the only guy who puts his flag in the sand. And he's like, how about no? How about no, we're not going to do that? How about no, we're not going to negotiate with you until the killing ends? Well, he did that yesterday yet again. This man who's terrorizing the Democrat Party, who cares about strangers living. God, what a terrible man. PJmedia.com breaking: Trump bans South Africa from the G20 summit. You're like, it's Thanksgiving. Why do I care about this? Well, he's saying, look, what you guys are doing to the Afrikaner, white Afrikaner Christians, exterminating them. No mas. We're done. You're not allowed in. President Donald Trump booting South Africa from the G20 gathering of nations next year, since the government there refuses to address anti-white genocide. He's also cutting off aid to that country. Damn right, I voted for that. This year, the G20 is going to be, or was, in South Africa, and Trump did not attend. For a reason, next year, the summit is going to be held in Miami, his backyard. And he's like, no. He's already saying there will be no invitation issued to South Africa. Trump says that the egregious human rights abuses ongoing in South Africa led him to make this decision, and that no more taxpayer-funded aid will be headed there either. Right? That doesn't seem complicated to me. Trump announced his decision Wednesday, last night, in a lengthy post on Truth, explaining why he plans to exclude South Africa in 26. And he began by noting that the United States did not attend the G20 in South Africa this year because the South African government refuses to acknowledge or address the horrific human rights abuses endured by the Afrikaners and other descendants of Dutch, French, and German settlers. To put it more bluntly, they are killing white people and randomly allowing their farms to be taken from them. Isn't that so wild? Because the left, that is so desperate to convince you that you're racist just because you're born white, regardless of anything about you, knowing nothing about you, that just because you're white, you have an advantage, you have a privilege, and you're inherently racist. And it should become your life mission to do whatever you can to equal the scales of justice. Meantime, white people are getting exterminated. The farmers, Christians. You've seen all of the crosses along the road. What do you think that is? Celebration of God? No. Commemoration of life taken. I don't hear liberals worrying about that. Or do white people not matter to the left? That might be a discussion for another day. In addition to that, the president has some words for Venezuela. And make no mistake, same sort of ideology applies. Nicolas Maduro, he says, is the head of a cartel, a criminal drug running cartel. And he has claimed that he is a terrorist, a narco-terrorist, and has named that cartel a terrorist organization. Now he's blowing up, ordering the destruction, the evisceration, obliteration, the making of fish food of people from Tren de Aragua and other gangs and De La Sols, these cartels, from running drugs into America. Knock it off. We're tired of our young people dying. And if you don't, we will kill you. How many more boats do we need to blow up? Why did the senators and congresspeople who made that seditious 6 video encouraging mutiny among the ranks, why did they say they did it? Because they're upset that they don't have more information about the narco-terrorist boats getting blown up. Are you out of your mind? This is the story I want to read to you, if they'll let me. Trump threatens Venezuela's Maduro with the easy way or the hard way. We're not going to play. Venezuela's president vows to defend every inch of the country amid military buildup in the Caribbean. Donald Trump has warned Maduro he can, quote, do things the easy way or the hard way. As Venezuela's authoritarian leader responded to the growing U.S. pressure campaign by urging followers to prepare to defend every inch of the South American country. How many people in Venezuela ever wanted Nicolas Maduro to be their president? Right? How many people in Venezuela have tried to get out of Venezuela and come to America because Nicolas Maduro is the president of that country? Because of the way they're forced to live. Nicolas Maduro thinks all the people of Venezuela are going to get together and fight a president who's trying to liberate any place on planet Earth where people are dying. Are they not paying attention? And so the critics here are going to say, well, President Trump, the posturing, moving the USS Gerald Ford into the Caribbean Sea on the doorstep, right? Why is he doing that? He wouldn't dare. Sorry, are you kidding me? He's blown up 21 boats. You don't think this president is serious about life? Especially on this Thanksgiving? Really? We have to be capable of defending every inch of this blessed land from any sort of imperialist threat or aggression, wherever it comes from, Maduro declared in his Tuesday address to the revolutionary people of Caracas. What is imperialistic about the president saying to Nicolas Maduro, stop the drugs? You sent your freaking criminal worst. Your Tren de Aragua goons, thousands of them, into our country. And you poisoned our people with drugs. And we've lost hundreds of thousands of young men and women in this country because of you since Joe Biden and his auto pen opened up our borders. I've asked nicely. Stop it. Then, when you didn't listen, we started bombing your boats, and you still aren't hearing my message. We can do this the easy way, or we can do this the hard way. Do you think Nicolas Maduro wants to play games with that? We'll see. Desperate men do desperate things. When we come back on the Wendy Bell radio program, this is hilarious. Something you cannot even make up. Democrats will spoil everything. They will take the joy out of anything that you love. Did you hear what they're doing about Thanksgiving turkeys? Oh, yeah. We're going to assess your turkey's carbon footprint. Oh, my gosh. You have to stay for this next. I know it's moving.
You stared longingly.
I did. I don't know why it causes the freaking camera to go haywire. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Tanaka Dave's, I think that's how you say it.
I have to redo it.
His first time is today. He says you're kicking major arse.
His first time. Oh.
His first time.
I'll be gentle. That was creepy. That was, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right. Okay. Well, that makes me...
You just told Rick he wasn't special.
What? Rick dances with turkeys.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool. Well, I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. And it would be syrupy, and you've heard me say it because I say it every day. But I love you, and you're very, very special to me. And I'm writing a monster check today for new merch that is being made, crafted lovingly by hand to present to you, the people. Yes, it's the AR-15 mags. Yes, indeed. And how great is it that, well, we'll show you our AR-15s that we have specially made. I think we could probably launch an AR-15 business. What do you guys think? I think we could. They're so much fun to shoot. So much fun to shoot. Custom made with TLC. Thank you, McMouse. We love you too. I love that. Thank you. Your turkey will be ready at 1 p.m. Eastern. Wow. Yeah, we're more of like a traditional. You've enjoyed today. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that, T-Nat Gal. Thank you for that. That's very nice. Because you could do a Thanksgiving show that's like soft and fluffy, and it's like, oh, I'm going to give thanks for la 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 la. And there's sometimes time for that, but I'm pissed. We have two people fighting for life. And all of this garbage is preventable. And this is just the beginning. How many of these people came into our country? How many other Afghans are there? How many people who hate America are here because of Joe Biden and freaking Barack Obama? So I couldn't have a nice, fun show for you today. I'm sorry. It would have been disingenuous and I would have been pissed. Right? Right. Pam Bondi. All right. Reveals that one of Jeez.
I have to drive to deliver the check too. I don't just get off after work. I have to continue to work.
Yeah, you're going to your brother's house to drink, okay?
And not have pumpkin pie.
To drink and smoke cigars.
No, he doesn't smoke cigars.
You do?
I know.
Well, are you going to be smoking cigars?
It'll be cold out, so probably not.
No. Oh, please. Honest to God. Did you? That's so annoying.
Did I what?
That's almost as annoying as Joe in the passenger seat of my car when I'm driving going, you want me to do a karate chop to the throat?
You're violent.
Hey, speaking about violence and being violent are very different things. But I would throw him down the stairs. Do we get all of our sponsors? I did not do lean twice. I didn't.
I know.
It's okay.
Well, it's going to have to be now. You ignore it.
Program ends on this Thanksgiving. The Washington Free Beacon with the story of the day. And this is what the title is. It says, ponder your turkey's carbon footprint. Climate group tells Axios on Thanksgiving Eve. Really? Can we just tell all the climate alarmists to suck it? Maybe just for today. How about you sit down and suck it? Okay? Because I don't really care. I don't care. And you know what I also don't care about? I don't care about cows. I don't care about cows' carbon, methane, toots, whatever. You want to tell us that's ruining the planet? I will eat more red meat than anybody else on planet Earth, specifically because they're bitching about it. Let's go. Steaks all day long. I'll take that carnivore diet. A climate group spent Thanksgiving Eve warning Axios about Turkey's carbon footprint, leading the publication to report that you should, quote, ponder how the, quote, beloved bird produces the greenhouse gas emissions responsible for global warming. All right. I don't think I have to do this with this audience, but let's just make this abundantly clear. The climate changes. I know it's crazy, right? Like there's times when there's ice and there's times when the ice melts and then it comes back. It's crazy, right? But there's a group of people out there that want you to believe that even though you represent just 4% of the global population, you inherently are damaging the climate. You are ruining Mother Earth because you're eating a turkey today. Yes. Raising and processing a 4-ounce turkey serving is the equivalent of nearly 3 miles worth of tailpipe emissions. The Environmental Working Group's Iris Myers insisted Wednesday to Axios. Really? However, would you calculate such a thing? Is that like how the vaccine was safe and effective? And everybody should get it because it's for the greater good? Really? Honest. Trust us. Got it. The publication reported that turkey contributes less to global warming than beef, but more than chicken. Oh, okay. That matters. So how much damage your meal does largely depends on where you live. Oh, isn't this interesting? Using blue states and red states as examples of how geography affects environmental impact. In Washington and Vermont, both solidly Democratic states, Thanksgiving dinners emitted the lowest amounts of carbon dioxide, according to a 2016 study. Nothing like a 9-year-old study. The deeply Republican Wyoming, West Virginia, and Kentucky, by contrast, had the highest Turkey Day emissions. That's so weird how that works out. Even as the Environmental Working Group issued its carbon warnings, Democrats have largely abandoned their apocalyptic rhetoric on the subject. Billionaire Bill Gates, who spent at least $2 billion fighting what he called climate disaster, admitted global warming, quote, will not be the end of civilization. Oh, no. And that ineffective climate protests are, quote, diverting money and attention from efforts that will have more impact on the human condition. I'm sure he's now just probably trying to push to sterilize all young women in Africa. I have no idea, but it sounds totally up his alley. Axios, in its Wednesday piece, admitted that climate change is fading in importance on some U.S. lawmakers' priority lists, though activists say even small steps from the public are needed. Do you guys realize how dumb this is? Yes, you do. Do you know who doesn't think it's dumb? Triggered wacko college-educated white liberal chicks who are the bane of our society. They're like, oh my God, the turkey. Let's get tofur instead. We'll get a tofurkey instead, said nobody who likes flavor.
I can tell you where to stick that tofur. And it'll stop emissions in the same way.
Right? We can plug you real quick with a tofurkey. So this is, think about all of the things that they've tried to browbeat you over, right? All of it. Remember when abortion was all that in a bag of donuts? Nobody can even talk about it anymore. We don't really care. Guns, oh, that was pretty hot for a little while we needed to try to take your guns. Global warming, yeah, no, it's not really moving the needle. See, everything that the Democrats get behind sucks. Donald Trump gets behind, let's not die so much. I kind of like that better, right? Let's live. Let's live. Let's stop the killing. Let's stop the murders. Let's stop all of the crazy wars and other things that are about small people, usually in positions of power, bitching about things and using their people as collateral damage. Let's all get behind life. I don't know. It's not a very hard message, is it? So as you're carving your turkey tonight in front of your family, I hope you have a little bit of shame. Because you, yes, you know exactly what you've done. So stupid. Right? See, you needed to smile, but you're going to think about it tonight. And you're going to think about me and you're going to say, how you doing? Have a great day. We love you. We'll see you Monday right back here. Same time, same place. Peace.